Kaboom! Teach them! Always make sure the message reach them.
Live from Kingston, Jamaica, broadcasting around the world. Around the world. You're watching the Teach Them YouTube show. Intellectual, yet stimulating. Fair, frank, and factual. And now,
broadcasting live.
We will broadcast live.
Live. This is Extra Class, streaming to the world and beyond.
Hey, let's go.
You know, it's Teach Them, the #1 intellectual blogging panel on the YouTube channel.
Ellis representing for Extra Class, saying we teach them. Little piece of my story, piece of Extra Class story, yeah. A piece of my life.
Mic check one.
Piece of my life.
Good night to the people of mine at the building.
I give them the story. Hey, watch you now. Extra Class control country. Lock the place in the city. To deal with your music, I say. Did not have a place to stay, but I pray to Jah for a better day. Hey, teach them never stray. Extra Class is for the trying man and trying no man, working for a better situation. Extra Class is for the trying man and trying no man, working hard for a solution. Yeah. Yes, some do domestic work.
Yes, peeps. Good night to everybody who is in the hearing of my voice, seeing my face. You understand? One thing, you know, I go, love is always there. No matter how we just sorry, raga here, we not care. Big up to the ones that were still up on the 9 to 5, on the plantation. For the people that want to travel home, get home safe. For the people that want to home, tired and then sitting and still find some time for tune in. Big up on yourself, you know what the thing go. Was supposed to do the news today. I don't know I'm in a stream like in a regular week like that. But I never feel the vibes to record the news today, man. So I just say, I go talk a little bit and then I go on my bed. Yes, right? Yeah, man. So big up to the ones in the building. If you are able to share the stream with a friend or a family member or a colleague, feel free to do so. It doesn't cost you. And for the people, as we go forward, you know, like the stream now. You understand what I say? If you don't like it while you're in it and you leave, you can dislike it. You see me? It's neither here nor there. But peeps, we're there. So, as I said, this is Jamaica to Rotted. There are always a lot going on. There is always a lot going on. And which I'm going to start. There's so much foolishness. Let me start here. So I have some... It's not official, but it's a rough estimate calculation of some crime figures since the start of the year. Zane, where this is saying that since January, and I think I got this when yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And this is unofficial, so it could be up or down by a few. So since January, 1,126 murders have been recorded in the country. And of that 1,126, there have been 25 triple murders. Let me say that again. There has been 25 triple murders. Added to the 25 triple murders, there have been 10 quadruple murders. Again, this is unofficial. So don't to quote it as gospel. I go verify it 100% and I couldn't know. And there has been 150 double murders. So up to, well, I can't tell up to, but since January, unofficial estimate, 1,126 murders, to include 25 triple murders, 10 quadruple murders, and 150 double murders. In Jamaica land we love, you know. Land of food and water, nothing we no shorter. We shorter love and compassion and humility and the ability to settle our conflicts in an amicable manner, fashion. Everybody it can't just act so. You understand what I mean? I say, there was a quadruple murder in the Crawl district in St. Catherine yesterday morning. A mother, her daughter, their helper, and the helper's spouse were all killed in that home invasion. There were 5 children in the house. I think the oldest is 13 thereabout. I think that it's all boys up to I think a few months old. They were told to leave, and the adults were murdered. The police are working with a few theories, and I'm only repeating this because I heard a police officer saying it, that I think one of the lady that was killed, her partner died suddenly last week, sometime thereabout. There has been allegations and accusations that he was poisoned and that the quadruple murder is somehow linked to that. So there, I don't remember the police officers. I think his surname is Griffiths. He has been doing some interviews. I think those interviews were done over nationwide, so you can get a clearer picture of what he has been saying as it relates to those things. Let me see if I can bring it up and play the audio. Let me see, nationwide. Yeah, so, man, there was a triple murder in Waterloo, Spanish Town recently. There was a triple murder in Grand Spend on Sunday. There was a triple murder on Chisholm Avenue, I think Saturday. Yo, I can't keep track, man. Don't forgive me if I can't keep track, because right now, the crime situation I beat my country bad. Yeah, Finar, 150, and this is unofficial. This is not from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. This is an unofficial count. So it could be off by a few up or down. You understand? If you get what I say. So yeah, latest news. See if I can find this. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute. All right. So it's ACP Griffiths. So this is what some of the stuff he had to say about it. So head of the Area 5 Police Division, Assistant Commissioner Gary Griffiths, says Tuesday's quadruple murder in Crawl District, Riversdale in St. Catherine is a chilling reminder of how easily things can turn deadly during domestic disputes. So 45-year-old businesswoman Carrie Ann Higgins McGrath, her mother Dorothy Higgins, and the family's housekeeper Diane Johnson and her boyfriend Kevin were shot at close range by gunmen just after 2 a.m. So this is what the Assistant Commissioner had to say. Hope this pick up clearly. And play it again.
When you're in a combustible environment, all you have to do is lit a match. And part of one of the theory we're getting is that the common law husband of Mrs. McGrath, he died over the weekend on Friday, having been ailing for a few days. Now, this deceased is probably a second generation, what we'll call persons who find themselves in conflict with the law. One of his brothers was previously killed by gunmen, we learned, and parents before were said to be involved in criminality. So that is something I want to put on the table from early on.
So basically what ACP Griffith is saying is that one of the 4 that were killed, her common law partner, husband, who died on Friday, has a criminal background. And yeah, so him continue to say some other things.
It's very interesting.
Oh, this is not. This is currency. That is the member of parliament. So there's another article where Mr. Griffiths spoke. So we can find that one. Kind of give more information than right. So see it here. So it says the police are pursuing two main theories in Crawl quadruple murder. So the police are pursuing 2 of 3 lines of inquiry regarding the quadruple murder in Crawl District, Riversdale in St. Catherine on Tuesday. Now, sources tell our news center that the incident is related to a dispute involving Kerry-Ann Higgins McGrath, one of the 4 victims, and the family of her recently deceased common-law husband. It is rumored that he was poisoned, as I said that earlier. So that theory was put to head of the Area 5 Police Division Assistant Commissioner Gary Griffiths, and this is what he had to say.
Is one of your 2 theories related to an accusation that the man who died last Friday was poisoned?
That is one thing out there, and of course we're looking into that. The postmortem has not yet been done, but that is one direction we're looking.
We reported, based on what we picked up on the ground, that Mrs. McGrath may have had a very, very bad feud with her husband's side of the family. Is that what your investigators are picking up early in the piece?
I'm not aware of that, but just to say that our intelligence community is getting that there was some concern that late that the common law husband could have been poisoned. So, of course, we're looking at that. I don't know if there was a feud.
So ACP Griffith says Mrs. McGrath had gone to the Riversdale police station shortly after she returned to the island on Monday. I think she was overseas for a short time and returned because her common-law husband passed on Friday. I'm open up for that.
No, she has spoken to the Riversdale police, and as a matter of fact, prior to her being killed, shortly after she came back from overseas, I learned that she had discussion with police at the station. I know that there were some issues.
Was it as far? Did she make a report about anything to the police?
Not that we're aware of. I don't know if her discussion was relative to her deceased common-law husband or if it was relative to what you're saying about the feud. I don't know. I'm yet to ascertain that.
So this is what the police officer has to say. I see the Andre post a comment say, as anything happen police and crime scene telling what happens or what them think. But then if the police them come there and not talk to nobody, when I say the police them nah do nothing, and if the police them not talk, we not hear nothing from the police and walk go on and a cover up, and then what the police them going to please on the day, Andre? I don't understand. How do you suggest the police operate then? Because I have seen instances where the police are tight-lipped about incidents and pending investigation is what they say. When they have info, they will provide it, and it's an uproar. The police them now do them job and this and that. And if the intelligence that the police have gathered up to the point that they speak is saying X, I mean, what is the harm of saying X? I don't know. So probably you can suggest to because I'm sure a police officer too is watching. So they may be able to work on the great suggestions that you have in how they approach these things, DeAndre. So I don't know, because I don't cost them for not talk, I don't cost them for talk. So I don't know, unless them for talk upon a level. So probably, I don't know. Sorry, guys. And big up yourself, bro. But you know you go, so when you come around here, we go at it. You understand? Richie, big up yourself, Father Prince Mitchell. A lot of the people in the building, big up on yourself, Lady Rosie. You see me? If you're there for the first time, big up yourself, we appreciate the support. You understand? Finar, big up yourself. So, boy, irrespective of the motive and the situation, the undercurrent, the backstory, 4 more Jamaicans have been murdered. There's 4 more Jamaicans added to the murder tally for the country. So whichever way you look at it, it is Jamaicans being murdered. Yeah? I suppose if you are able to any at all extract any positive from this situation, is the fact that these men who were dressed in dark clothing and adorning masks did not hurt the children. You understand? There have been situations where men go in situations like these and even the children are killed. Yeah? So I suppose if we are able to extract any positive from this unfortunate situation, then that is it. The children are in the custody of the police as they seek family members to release the children into their custody. I suppose investigations continue. Caribbean expert, what go on, bro? Big up yourself, you know. See, I know the one them probably are forward, you know, if I work and tired still, but you know what I think over there. Yeah. It's crazy, man. New wave. Big up yourself, you know. Big up yourself, man. I think I see a comment from you the other day, or a Dexter I see from one out of the two, no. I say, you know, some things are going and it kind of reduce the amount of time when I get for search, circle the channel. But me understand how you go, man. The man them forward and them can hear, sir. We give thanks to the support continually. Continually. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So that is, boy, I mean, I know. It's, and this crawl name is, I think the crawl where Adams was involved in was spelled with a K. This one is spelled with a C. Anyway, when name crawl, on change the name, them answer. Because I say, right, I know badness just a crawl slowly there. But I don't know. And these things. Father D, speak up yourself in a broski. What you deal with? Another very sad situation. There will be a few of these. Remember me, I kind of discuss what I would have read in the newscast for today. So, and then I'm going to discuss some speaker of the whole situation. Because I know so that is a very hot button topic and some people kind of not like it. And some people are say, yeah, and some people are say, man, then sitting there. Plus, there was some discussion about Senate stipend increase. It was announced, say it was, there was an automatic adjustment and then the adjustment was withdrawn and some just a whole heap of things. The Klansman Wandan gang trial is almost at its end. The attorneys made their finals, their plea mitigation, I should say, not submission. They more than do that already. And coming out of that, the accused leader or the convicted leader of the Wandan faction addressed the court and he had some stuff to say. And the summation will be done on Monday. And we soon come around to them someday. So, yeah, so some things. But we have some things to talk about first. So there's a situation where a father and his, I think, 3-year-old child died from burns they received at their home in a house fire this morning. So the child died from this morning. The father sustained severe burns and he later succumbed to his injuries. Yeah. I soon talk to you what unique array. I named the bad. So, 40-year-old Sherman Williams, the father of the 3-year-old boy who was killed in a fire last night in Portmore Gardens, St. Catherine, has also died. He succumbed to his injuries this afternoon. So it is reported that Williams and his son, Cleon, not sure the pronunciation, had gone to bed when neighbors saw a ball of fire coming from the back room they occupied about 11 p.m. So the fire brigade was called and firemen then forced their way inside and saw the father lying by the door that was locked from the inside. He was clutching his son in his arms. Jaja. So a spokesperson at the Waterford Fire Station said investigations will have to be conducted to determine the cause of the fire. Sad situation. So apparently the G, take up the youth and try to come out. Probably smoke inhalation. That's what I already pronounced. I think so. Well, nobody beat me. You understand me? He's not a word expert. So, yeah. Sad situation. As I said, the fire person are saying that further investigation will be needed to determine the cause of the fire. Old Harbour person of interest killed in alleged confrontation with the police. So a man who was reportedly a person of interest in a case of murder was shot and killed after he allegedly challenged a police party in Old Harbour, St. Catherine on Wednesday morning. He has been identified as Daniel Farquharson, otherwise called Fry Eye. 26-year-old of Sukaba Gardens in Old Harbour. So it is reported at about 6 a.m., a police team from the St. Catherine South Division went to Sukaba Gardens on a targeted raid. Farquharson allegedly fired on the police from a house. He was challenged by the police and was hit. So the police say he was found clutching a Glock pistol, which was loaded with several rounds. A further search resulted in the alleged seizure of a .22 revolver and 22 rounds of ammunition. Give me a minute, please, guys. Jaja, give me a minute.
What we do here is go back.
Oh, him and his mother had ads. Apparently, she had changed him, so I don't know. You understand? But there again, yeah. You're right. So, naturally, hold on, let me finish this. So, Farquharson and a woman who was also in the house and suffered a gunshot injury to the leg during the incident were taken to hospital where Farquharson died and the woman was admitted. So, naturally, the Independent Commission of Investigations, INDECOM, have launched a probe into the matter. Yeah? Chantel Miller, good night. So, yeah. So, Fryer has been wanted. Well, he was a person of interest. So, the police said them go link him and him shoot after them and them shoot after him. And during the shooting, him get shot and one empress that was there got shot too and he died and the empress was treated. You know what I think. The JDF Coast Guard they arrested 4 Nicaraguans following ganja seizure. So 4 Nicaraguans have been arrested following a seizure of several bags of compressed ganja off the coast of Black River in St. Elizabeth on Wednesday morning, which is this morning. So Chief of Police in the parish, Deputy Superintendent Coolidge Mint, I have something to say about Coolidge, remind me. Said about midnight, members of the Jamaica Defence Force Coast Guard intercepted the boat about 4 miles out at sea with 4 Nicaraguans on board. The search of the vessel revealed that 4 men were on board, where they identified themselves as persons from Nicaragua. The vessel and the men were escorted to the pier right at Black River. Minter said. He added, a further search of the vessel revealed several bags containing vegetable matter resembling ganja. The 4 men were subsequently arrested and taken to the Black River Criminal Investigations Branch, pending further investigation. Yeah? So the Area 3 narcotics team was contacted and the scenes of crimes were contacted and processed the vegetable matter and them something there. Coolidge Minter, he was transferred to St. Elizabeth after the Black River jailbreak. I think 6 men escaped from Black River. And he was, the commander for the division was transferred and he was transferred there, I think, from St. Andrew South or St. Andrew Central. I don't know, at somewhere there. I think he was based at Hunts Bay and was one of the senior personnel in that division, but he was transferred there as acting St. Andrew South. Okay, respect, Finar. He was transferred there to St. Elizabeth as the head of the division there, and since he has been transferred there, based on me covering the news daily, he has been in the news almost every other day with something going on in Black River. Either wanted men killed or stolen vehicle and bike seized or stolen cow found in car chunk, or one of the Black River escapee was apprehended or wanted man killed. That. So I must take, can you say we have a tendency to beat the police rightly so, because them deserve it sometimes, a lot of the times. But we also, as people, don't take the time out to highlight good things. And I must say, based on my observation, based on the fact that almost every other newscast that I do, there is something coming out of St. Elizabeth where the police would have had some success. It is commendable, the work or the effect that Coleridge Minter is having in that police division since he has been transferred there. We need to say good things when good things are happening. You understand? Because if Coleridge is down there and 30 people are dead down at St. Elizabeth every month, we don't out here beat Coleridge Minter down. So, and again, based on my observation, I don't know about your observation. As I said, I do at least 4 newscasts per week on average. And based on my recollection, he is in the news and the St. Elizabeth police are in the news making some arrests or doing something that is impacting the levels of crime in a positive way in St. Elizabeth. So, Mr. Coleridge Minter, big up yourself, sir. You understand what I say? And big up to all of the other commanders them who are trying to ensure that law-abiding Jamaican citizens are feeling a sense of ease, because me can't even say safety about it, because that kind of far-fetched. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we have to point out these things, because a regular we cuss the police them and run them when they're sitting there. So when we say good things are gone, we can't say good things are gone. To big up yourself, Mr. Mind. I don't remember a police officer being transferred to a division and the impact is so immediate and sustained as this transfer with Mr. Minto. And again, my observation, you will probably see it different, see a next division where the same thing happened or a better thing, but I can't recall. I know that when Steve McGregor was sent to, I think, Central Kingston, there was a lot of progress there at that time, and them something about, I don't know. So you have some police officer who really try. We have a tendency to say, all police officers corrupt and a criminal. I've always said that. I think, and I can't qualify or quantify it, it is just my gut feeling. I'm a gut kind of up on the bigger side, so it's a bigger feeling that there are more good police officers in the police force than bad police officers. Some people are going to disagree, I am sure, and that is fine. It's based on just as I say, I cannot qualify it, I can't quantify it, because I haven't done a scientific study or survey. Yeah, that would be very difficult. But I suspect that there are more police officers in the JCF that have the best interests of Jamaica and the Jamaicans at heart. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I would be okay to receive correction. You understand? Yeah, man. Steve normally have an impact when he touch upon the ground. You understand? I can't take that from him either. So yeah, make we move on now. Speaking about the police, remember that police officer that was slain in Manchester by his wife. She has been remanded further. So the Manchester woman accused of the brutal murder of her husband, Constable Damien Blair, during a domestic dispute at their home in May, was this afternoon further remanded until October 19th. Casey and Blair is facing charges of murder, unauthorized possession of a firearm, and unauthorized possession of ammunition. So Constable Blair was fatally shot at his home in Somerset, Manchester on May 29th during a domestic dispute with his wife. So when the matter was mentioned this afternoon in the Home Circuit Court, you see, there's an error in the article, so let me try to fix it. When the matter was mentioned this afternoon in the Home Circuit Court, the court was told that the forensic psychiatric evaluation, which was ordered for Blair, is not yet done. These things always take forever. However, the judge was informed that arrangements are being made to conduct the evaluation on October 2. So during the last hearing, Blair's attorney, Tamika Harris, had informed the court that she had been receiving psychiatric treatment at the Mandeville Regional Hospital prior to the murder of her husband. The accused woman, who spent 13 days in hospital after the murder, was at the time of the incident found locked inside the house with what appeared to be self-inflicted wounds to her wrist. So apparently she had slit her wrist, I guess hoping to bleed out. So she may have attempted to take her life in the aftermath of taking her husband's life. And I don't know the story, but just provide some update on it. You understand what I say? I mean, Steve have impact to find man under them bed. I mean, that is a one-off. Nah, man. To be fair to Steve, Caribbean expert, I have seen divisions that he has moved from. The residents have demonstrated asking for his return. So that is the type of impact that he has had in the areas that he has overseen. So yeah, the underbed story, I guess he will never live that down. But people tend to respect him and I may dare say love him based on some exchanges that I've seen in the news and read in articles and stuff. So yeah. I know you probably get trouble still, but I think in all fairness, Steve, I have to point out that. See? Red Bullet Gaming, blessings in the family, give thanks. I appreciate the support. You know what I mean? And thing. So I made mention earlier of the triple murder that took place on or along Chisholm Avenue on Saturday. So there has been some development there, well, some update. So it is being theorized by the police that a stolen gun is reportedly at the center of the murders of two brothers and their cousin, which occurred on Chisholm Avenue in St. Andrew on Saturday morning. One stolen gun, 3 people dead. And then again, we don't even know if people have also been killed prior to this in relation to said gun, allegedly stolen. So watch what I go on now. So I could work out a little something. 3 people known are deaths. 3 known deaths are being linked to a missing gun. An illegal firearm, Something where you're not supposed to have in the beginning, And it has now led to 3 people being killed. And as the story will continue, you will probably learn that the 3 people who have been killed were not even the people who were accused of stealing the weapon. I make it read it. Because Craig is G, what going on, family? Been a minute, Hope you and the family good. And I mean, Ati Makala, where you did, bro? All is well? I say some people when I say from a long time, not big up on yourself. Because I mean, if it's stream Wednesday night on a regular, bring out the regulars. You understand? So a stolen firearm, I said that already. Police and residents have revealed that 3 men who were shot dead by a gunman were being told to return or pay for a firearm which another family member had stolen almost 2 years ago. So these 3 men that were killed allegedly over a firearm that was stolen was not even stolen by none of them. It is a Jaja. Yeah, Prince. I'm my soldier did I cry one time, man. If I think of you did I cry in the background. Jaja. I saw a parent thing go answer. Yeah, sometimes you hear some baby I cry on one part and you have to check if I your own cause you know what thing. You know what thing go. But yeah, brother. So and this is a teaching moment, you see? A lot of times when we watch the news, whether you watch it on THM, or not watch it on THM still, See? Or you watch it over TVG or CVM or any other social media platform that shares the news, Zane, I think Michelle Jones, she does a very good job at it. Her voice is very soothing. So I want to watch something now if I want to watch her too. You know what thing go, you understand? And that's how it thing go, so it's not a problem. So wherever you watch the news, you will see sometimes some murders. And despite the fact that it shocks our conscience, and we have said, Jano, one more murder. Murder Taliban XYZ. This, that. I won't say a lot of times. Sometimes these murders are linked to nefarious illegal activities. Kim T, good night. Stream I go on today. Yeah, man, it's just a little pop-up stream, Lady Kim. You know what I mean? I did kind of feel the talking vibes. You see me? So, a lot of times we watch the news and we say, BM, big up yourself in the family. Me see your comment earlier, but me never pay you no mind. You understand me? I say, cause we a long time we have do it for that thing. You understand? So a lot of times we hear about some murders and we say, Jano, yo man, they're wicked, you know? But sometimes the ugly truth is that sometimes a lot of these murders are sometimes criminals killing criminals. It sounds harsh, but it is the environment in which we live in. Innocent people are murdered way too often in this country, don't get me wrong. But it's just that we don't know the backstory at that point in time. We are not familiar with what would have led up to those murders. But the truth is that you would be surprised to know who is doing all of these things, which is very true to Mr. G. You understand me? I say? Well, teach him that is the unwritten law of the streets, brethren. If a family member who's involved in criminal activity, this can be. Yeah, but then, but Finar, you can't control everybody in your family and brother. Imagine, Father Finar, you as a very upstanding citizen. You understand? Who would have spent your life building your career, building your family, building your assets, and you never do nothing wrong in your life. You, as in criminally. You understand what I say? Cause you're gonna break two girl heart and them something one of them time. You know what thing go. You see? So you know have one cousin around one part or one brother around so. And it's good as all your half brother and it's not even your full brother. But it's your brother. You understand? And him now decide say a badness in him. I look for him. You understand? I make blood a fall like rain. And then man come bang out your brain. Because for them family, him cast it. Never mind what me I say. They will try rhyme. But you know what I mean? A lot of people have died because of the sins of their family members. And you have family members who would have died in these situations, and them know say them family are criminal, you know. So, but then if you don't know, brother, you go about your business, you not even talk to your brother. You and your brother not even talk because you realize them a criminal and you done with him, you cut him off. But them know say you're your brother. And them a try find your brother, and them could just find your brother and want one more brother. So right now, and then you as a parent, you grow the youth in the best way you can. You raise your child in the best way you can. Give them the best environment to be nurtured in. And then come farm fool. And you as a parent, man, come kill you because of the foolishness where you're pitting and do. When you try your best to be the best parent you can be and raise this child the best way you can, brother. Them they sitting there rough and rough. Yeah, Mr. G, the investigative capacity of the police force is not where it ought to be. It's not where it ought to be honest with you. But the president full in there, brother. You understand? And investigative work would then lead to then conviction, you know, so we have to put that in context too. So while it is not where it should be, you understand, it go on a level, them need to raise it. You understand? Yeah, so it thinks that we a family. So I could go and talk about this, because I don't come and spend the whole night, you know. I don't like it talking. You understand? I mean, it's not a talk. So police and residents have revealed that 3 men who were shot dead by gunmen were being told to return or pay for a firearm which another family member had stolen almost 2 years ago. Gunmen posing as cops murdered 3 men in the wee hours of the morning. So they were identified as 28-year-old Mason Alex Orlando Ricketts, 31-year-old Nava Ricketts, otherwise called Fata, also a Mason, and Ricardo Dwight Henry, otherwise called Rasta, a 48-year-old delivery man. So the deceased were all from 69 Chisholm Avenue in Kingston 13. And the Ricketts were brothers and Henry was their cousin, the police said. Now, it is understood that the now deceased men had a family member who stole a firearm about 2 years ago. That family member was killed, but the weapon was never returned. Since then, residents and police have said gunmen have been harassing the now deceased men over the missing firearm, requesting that they return one or pay for the stolen weapon. Things reportedly came to a head on Saturday when the gunmen took the three men from their home and killed them execution style at another premises. So police had reported that around about 1:15 a.m., three men armed with rifles and posing as police officers entered the premises and took the three men from their dwelling house. It was further reported that the gunmen led them at gunpoint to another dwelling house on the premises where they opened fire, hitting all three men in the upper body and killing them on the spot. The gunmen then made their escape on foot in the air. Now, several 5.56mm and 9mm spent casings were found on the murder scene, the police say. So, the person who allegedly stole the gun was killed, by whom the article never says, so I don't know. However, apparently the gun was never returned or paid for and then been asked for them gun or the money for the gun, even though the person who they accused of stealing it was killed. So now 3 family members are dead. And add one next one. Well, I don't know if that person was killed over the missing gun either, so I can't even say that. But this is the times that we live in, brother. You don't even know.
149 and Mr. 1 make 10. The Admiral Tibet as Mr. Reality introducing to you. Teach them, no matter how far them they are reach them. Listen to this. Classic.
We are living in a serious time. Yes. Don't let the devil blow your mind. The time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. Yes. He's only in the Father. Teach them put his trust. The time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. Move. Said all over the world, everyone is in a heated rush. On a bet, it's not everything good for eat, good for talk. I don't trust no shadows after dark. They will walk and talk, eat and drink with you. Pretend as if they are with you, but I won't let no one harm me. And I won't try to harm anyone. Cause when you think it's peace and safety, it's a sudden destruction. The time is so serious.
We don't even play no more, brother. Serious times we are living in. You understand what I say? Big up Nix. Nix, hear me say the last stream, so I been a look for Protege and Kabaka Pyramid. Because me need blood money and well done, Mr. Politician man pan dub plate. The man reach out to Kabaka Pyramid people. Then say them I do it dub. Must be free, like me don't know, because they rate the program. But you know, Kabaka is a busy man, so it might take a little time. Big up Nix. So him kind of deal with them like him, I'm an agent. Nix, big up yourself, yeah, sir. So smart years need to find Protege. They will not do man. And do some work in our class. You can't just come every day and just eat lunch and go back home and not do nothing at school. That don't make no sense. You see me? So yeah. Serious times. Serious times. No bother me. Don't bother me. Big up yourself, Father Perfect. Zane, I'm going to read the comments still. So the act of violence against people that are not directly involved in... Oh, perfect. Me need a tune up and dub plate. No bother me. You understand what I say? So you need to fix it up and make me get it. Not directly involved is actually a part of our culture. Sad but true. Yeah, that is so true. The term can't catch Kwaku, catch him shot has sadly become a part of our mentality. Yeah, some people said that earlier in the Big Brother. Bro, big up yourself, you know, I always appreciate the support in a real life. You understand? No bother me. Me want it on dub plate. Do we go talk about it? You understand me? I say quick and fast. No, so when some people come around here and bother me in the stream, me just play it. No bother me. Don't bother me. You understand? She get one heap of love and joy from the ESP, so the same perfect. Mr. Perfect. You understand? So we don't know and represent and have manners and say good night. You understand? Alrighty. So the Klansman Wondon plea mitigation, dubs on the way. So I tell you, all right, bro, and I say a word, you got to talk about it because you have to go mention teach them an extra class tonight, you know. And I mean, I want a TV track because you know you register it, because I know your business together and them copyright business, we can't go work with. You understand? So yeah, but we talk about it. All right. What has captured the attention of the country for the past 48 hours is the developments surrounding the sentencing of the convicted members of the Wandon gang in the Home Circuit Court in front of Chief Justice Brian Sykes. And each accused, I think it's 30, well, convicts, because they have been convicted, just not sentenced. So each convict's attorney would have spoken to the court in relation to plea mitigations and breaking down their social inquiry report and suggesting to the judge sentencing timelines and limits and talking about sentencing and the whole something. But coming out of that is the accused leader of the gang, or the convicted leader of the gang, Andre Blackman Brian, decided against his attorney's instruction that he wanted to address the court. And he spoke twice. He spoke on Monday, and Justice Sykes cut his speech short in lieu of wanting the other attorneys to present their plea mitigation. And he was given an opportunity to speak again yesterday. And a lot of things has been discussed since. I have seen people, saying that he shouldn't have been given the opportunity to speak. But I suppose it is his constitutional right. So some people are saying that Justice Sykes was very lenient. So I've even seen the word compassionate being used and something. And before me even delve into this, it is very good that the judiciary are now putting things in place and systems in place to at least allow the public to listening on these deliberations. One, because many of us, including me, are novice to legal speak and the intricacies of the judiciary and the judicial system. And like the next man, I would hope, I am always trying to acquire knowledge about the runnings and the happenings in the courts of law. And I have always said that the court of law and the court of public opinions are two different things and two different places. Many things that we see as open and shut cases are not necessarily open and shut cases in court. And cases always say, yo, the man must bust that thing. Freedom, then sentence him. You understand what I say? Because in the court of law, it is about what you can prove. And if you can prove it, and if there's a reasonable doubt, a man go walk. You know what I mean? So I'm innocent. It means that there was not enough evidence for convict. Zane? And vice versa. So it is very good that an opportunity is being presented and provided for the regular Joe in the street like myself can listen in on these things and get a better understanding and grasp of how these things actually work. So we become more informed. So when certain decisions are made, we say, okay, whilst we not agree with it, we kind of understand and then sit there. You understand? Because some of us are judge, jury, and executioner, like with the guy last school, or we've been a judge for years, or we are prosecutor, or we are. So, and truth be told is that many of us are not familiar with how the justice system works. You teach them the same sentiments are, man. I am also happy for being able to see what is happening in Gordon House. Yeah, man. You know what I think, because them is one set of people. You see them over there, so them is the next story, but we soon talk about them. That's the best thing ever happening in Jamaica's court system. I know some people are asking for it to be video stream. I don't foresee that happening right now. You understand? But the audio is fine, Zane. them can improve them audio quality and improve them internet because quite a bit of buffering. But I know I stream, so I know the streaming game is there's a 99% chance that something will go wrong. I saw streaming go. You understand? It's just that we kind of do this long time, so we learn how to balance out what thing. And you know, audio nice. You hear that in your ears like? So sweet, don't? Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, it sounds sweet in my ears. I mean, you know. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So Blackman now, Andre Bryan, he spoke and he relied heavily on the Bible and the scriptures in presenting his. I think so. Jamaica. If I was his lawyer, I would have. And Mr. McFarlane advised him not to, but he decided that he wanted to. He said some things that, you know, yeah. But say, make we see what go on. So yesterday's revelations were the ones really that people really and truly, you know what I mean, have been discussing, where he basically took responsibility for being leader of the organization. And he even went as far as to say that his co-convicts should have been pardoned and him alone be made to bear the brunt of the sentencing. He also stated that he was the only Don, the only leader of the group, and they were operating under his instructions and influence, and them something there. See? So I give orders and instructions. Blackman says at sentencing hearing. Convicted leader of the One Don faction of the Klansman gang, Andre Blackman Bryan, appears to have confessed to giving orders and instructions to other gang members linked to the Spanish Town St. Catherine-based criminal organization. In his address to the court on Tuesday, Bryan also suggested that the other members of the gang who were found guilty should have been pardoned in a similar fashion to the two gangsters turned state witnesses who testified during the trial. Bryan was given 10 minutes to continue his plea in mitigation by presiding judge Chief Justice Brian Sykes on Tuesday. So the convict began his address inside the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston on Monday, but Sykes had told him that he would be allowed to resume after other defense attorneys had completed their submissions for their clients. And by the way, his lawyer, as in Andre Bryan's lawyer, Mr. McFarlane, did his plea mitigation. So the lawyer actually spoke to the court. See? As it relates to Blackman's social inquiry and these things. You understand? So it's not like his lawyer did not speak at all in court. So he spoke. It's just that Bryan wanted to address the court himself. With the attorney for the 14 convicts completing their pleas in mitigation, Bryan received another opportunity to address the court. With his voice trembling, he opened his speech by quoting scriptures from Jeremiah 3 verse 15, Psalms 199 and 104. I think Jeremiah 1 verse 8 or Psalms 199 verse 104. Jeremiah 1 verse 18 and Psalms 82 verse 5. And he had been reading from Genesis the previous day. All these accused been around me. So this is Blackman speaking, you know, and I quote, all these accused been around me. Yes, they don't know. They only see what the eye see. No one knows. The truth must be told. And by precept, we come to the understanding that I give orders, instructions, Bryan told the court. They, the accused, were all under influence. Same for the witnesses who get pardoned. I don't know who pardoned them. By precept, all of them should have been pardoned, and you take me into account, he stated. According to the gang leader, he had no hard feelings against the prosecutors, the judge, or law enforcers. He rambled on in his address saying that some of what took place at the trial was not real. All of this is just an experience. It is not real. Like the clock, you ask someone time, them tell you 10 past 11. And numbers them I tell you, you know. A representation. It is not real, said Bryan. He asserted that the law needed to be reformed and that the time for doing so was now. It is a Don talking, one Don, and there is no other Don. Don. Any other Don, a Clarendon. It is a teacher talking, one teacher. God alone is the teacher. God alone is the Don. I don't know no Jesus. I just know common sense, declared Brian. One of the gang leaders aliases his teacher. Now, after Brian completed his address, Sykes informed that he will assess the submissions by all the attorneys on Monday. So, assessment of submissions will be done on Monday. Thereafter, he's hoping to complete handing down the sentences by Tuesday of next week. So, Brian speaking was surprising to many. And as you know, I would have removed those excerpts and, edited them to clips and pictures in my own neat, clean, tidy way. You understand? If I may say so myself, you don't want to do the thing chaka chaka, plaka plaka. And that those excerpts are on the channel and them something there. So yeah, interesting times. So summation will be done on Monday and sentencing will be handed down on Tuesday based on what the Chief Justice said. And as I said, I know many people are still upset about the fact that so many of the accused were acquitted. And I've said from the get-go, it is very unlikely that a trial so large with so many accused was going to end with all 33 accused being found guilty. The nature of the case, the amount of people being involved, and the amount of ground that had to be covered evidentiary-wise in terms of collating and putting all the evidence together and finding concrete evidence by everybody, it would have been near impossible, in my humble layman opinion, that all 33 accused were going to be convicted. I said that from the get-go, and it borne out to be the case. And I just look at common sense in my big head made it use. And then I would have also put that up against previous trials of that nature, the Kings Valley Gang trial, the Uchens Wilson Gang trial with close or similar numbers and what would have happened. So I never did just talk because I can't talk. I would have based those assessments on my experience versus based on what I've seen transpired in other similar cases. So, I mean, many people are still, saying Sykes, Lego the man, them and this and that. Many people are not a fan of Justice Sykes either. And I mean, you are always free to form and formulate your own opinion. As I said, one of the things that beats us as a nation, including me, is that we are not fully understanding of the court of law and how the court of law works. So it is always easy to make these pronouncements and judgments. I am trying to learn, you understand? Mr. Sykes would have been practicing in the legal landscape for decades and is the Chief Justice for a reason, I suppose. So the decisions that he make, I am sure he's making them in the wisdom that they are the correct decision at that time. Because the truth of the matter is that if these men who were acquitted, if they were found guilty and them appeal, you wanna see them on them come and say, yo, the judge them this and the system corrupt. And there would have been grounds to appeal based on the evidence against the men because of the fact that they were acquitted based on the fact that there was no evidence against them. So, well, I guess people then say, well, them would then still serve some time up to appeal. So, me take that. I guess there's that dimension to the country. And that is fair too. You understand? And again, remember, some come here to impose my views on you, and I'm share my opinion every now and then, I'm keep it moving. You are okay to formulate and hold on to your opinion. I will respect it. I won't always accept it. I'm telling you that almost every night. And I don't expect anybody to accept my opinion as the law or gospel neither. You say your thing, me say my thing, and we don't have to fight about it. You understand what I say? So, it was very interesting hearing Brian saying that he has no hard feelings against the prosecutors or the judges or the police officers who would have led the investigation. That I found that very, very, very interesting. I also found very interesting when he told Justice Sykes on Monday, when Justice Sykes saying they were now at the sentencing stage, and he said that him not care about the sentencing. That no matter to him. And I found that very, very a very surprising statement as well. And the final exchange of him saying that, he was the leader and he gave the instructions, and the co-convicts were following his instructions, and he is the one teacher. I found those revelations shocking, to be honest with you. If I did tell you before, say I would expect to hear these things in court from Brian, I would have been lying, because there's no way. So I don't know why he decided to go that route. Only him can tell you. But summations will go. I am not surprised at the fact that he referred to the Bible so often. Men in his situation and position tend to do that. That is not surprising. But some of those other things that he said were, I found them a bit surprising, to be honest with you. I won't tell you a lie. You understand? But I mean, it is what it is. It seems that he has come to grips with the situation and the gravity of the situation, and has made peace with it, or is trying to make peace with it. So I don't know. Teach them. You all need to wake up. The guy telling the truth. I don't understand why you said True Love Production. Who said him did that tell lie? And what we are sleep about? I don't understand why you try. What you try to say? Talk to me, because at no point did we say the man are telling a lie, or we did that tell us how we are sleep. I don't understand. People have done that before Jamaica Phone Service and have been successful based on the nature of the situation. You know what I think? So yeah. I don't understand why True Love Production has still. Because the man said if we wake up like we are sleep. And the man, then who say man did that tell her? I was just talking about the things that he said and telling you that I am surprised about some of the utterances he made. Then what? I don't get that. Alright, so still there quote. Beachy stout. Beachy proud. Beachy doubt. You understand? His trial for the murder of his second wife, Tony McDonald, is could be to, you know, Richie, that is one perspective. I have been you know what I mean, thinking about it from all different angles. And I suppose there's a situation to know where people will look at him and say, well, at least him is a man, I'm stand up to him situation and take responsibility. You understand? Some people are going to see him as probably a coward for, you know, say certain things, or, you know what I mean? I don't know. So I guess it depends on who is listening and who is interpreting. So I guess he must know. I guess there is always method to the madness in general speak. So I don't know. In this case, can the government be sued if any of the convicts should win there? I don't know, bro. As I said, I can't tell you. I don't know. To be honest with you, but I know where people who have been convicted and have appealed, win their appeal, have sued on different grounds. It could be the fact that it took too long for them matter go through the court system. It can be various things. I'm gonna know. Yeah. Blessings, Jackie Robinson. Yeah. Interesting perspective that as well. You know what thing go. Yeah, so again, as I said, I don't think the judge was trying to tell him man to shut up there. DeAndre, you have some perspective on some things sometimes where, boy, I don't know. But based on me listening to Justice Sykes, he was just saying that based on where the trial is now and based on the fact that this is plea mitigation, you need somebody with legal expertise to treat with this based on the gravity of the situation. So I don't know that Justice Sykes was telling him to shut up. He was just advising him, as a good judge would do, that it would be wise for counsel to represent you, knowing that you would now be speaking to the social inquiry report and the aggravating and mitigating factors in relation to sentencing. Because, I mean, and again, may I speak for me, I don't see where in that Justice Sykes was trying to shut up Brian. You understand? Fair assessment that to Jerome. I guess him probably reach a stage where him no business born up neither. Nix, big up yourself and I'm calling him earlier. You understand? But a good thing. You see me? So, man, I know. But yeah, I mean, what I said, 7 different brothers, 7 different personality. So we all have ears and we hear how we want to hear and we interpret how we want to interpret things. Again, I tell you, so I not force my opinions on no one. I share my views, but having listened the entire proceedings, I think it was the Chief Justice trying his best to let him understand why it is important for him to be represented at this stage, especially by an experienced lawyer, somebody who has done it before. And as Mr. G said, just guidance. That is what I got from it, but I could be wrong. But I could move on. He should not have spoken. All that mumbo jumbo come out. Well, blessings, Empress, for you. How you doing? So that is it. You understand? Dan credit to Blackman. His ratings in his work would have gone up. So yeah. So that. Beachy Stout, you know, cause as I say, we not come here for spending all night to do, you know, cause I mean, no have work a morning to, you know, so nobody can go like couldn't have work for good night, you know. You understand what I say? So Beachy Stout, you know, so the trial it started last week, Monday. But then there were juror problems Tuesday and Wednesday. So they had to disband the first jury panel. And then panel another jury this week, Monday. And the first witness that started his testimony had to start from the beginning. Zane, so he has been speaking since Monday. And he has been saying some interesting things. Yeah, I see Rosie mentioned R.I.P. Petal. Petal is Beachy Stout first wife, Marlene McDonald. She was murdered in 2009. Beachy Stout has been officially charged with that murder as well. He will stand trial for that murder in January of next year, if memory serves me correctly. You understand? So Madman was Beachy Stout's other nickname. Witness claims during murder trial. Me tell you, say, be careful of the names them on no answer to. I told me they know Beachy from them time. Me not tell him say no answer them name the brother. Call them name Madman. Then you can't call me Madman and me answer your brother. Me a man move from here say yeah man. The first witness in the Home Circuit Court murder trial of Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout McDonald and this co-accused Oscar Barnes. Oh, remember me telling you Sunday night, say Oscar Barnes which is the co-accused, he got married the Sunday before trial start the Monday, and the judge remand him Monday morning. So he didn't really get to do no honeymooning. You understand? His lawyer would have requested the judge to reconsider remanding him, and bail was applied for and he was granted bail. You understand? So it's like, well, I don't even know. Roxanne Simpson, good night. It's good to see you. Yeah. So, G get to spend some time with his wife. And me, cause remember I tell us that last week Monday, the wife was out of court there, ball. And me I say, like, funny, like, you know. You understand? I can't tell us that Mr. Oscar Barnes guilty, but he is accused of the murder. Zane being a part of the murder. But then now of murdering one next man wife, and then female wife a ball out the door so she not get no spend no time with him. After him involved in a killing the next man wife. Then female wife, boy, I tell her, say, the world is spinning around. Everything is upside down. Yeah, so me did say that for say him get bail. You understand? So him wife happy. Me see one picture with them out of court, then them look happy. You understand? So she don't really business what kind of charge in the pan. She just want her husband. You understand? Without any law or judiciary experience, you are creating, answering some of these questions. Niggas, big up yourself in the family. Give thanks. St. Mary, man, I think, you know. Hope all is well, you know. You know, we try. You understand? Sometimes people upset when we try if it be balanced and objective and them sitting there. And you know, I think, people are very emotional sometimes and then cuss on them and subscribe and them go watch other things. But I mean, we continue. We live with life, same way. You understand? We not really lose no sleep over it. We never get enough sleep already. It's much less to lose or we not get. You understand? No. So, McDonald and Barnes are charged with the July 20, 2020 murder of Tonya McDonald, who was Beachy Stout's second wife, as I said earlier. So Tonia's partially burnt body was found slumped beside her raised motor vehicle on the Sherwood Forest main road in Portland with her throat slashed. We know all of that already. So witness speaking now. I call him Mr. Mac. Sometimes I call him Madman. Other people call him Stout or Mr. Shine. He might have too much name. You understand what I say? But he should not answer to no Madman name. I don't know. The witness, who had been an employee at Stout's supermarket in Portland, painted a picture of his former boss being a jealous man who sometimes spoke about wanting to murder people. He claimed that McDonald was overly controlling of Tonya. Sassy was the name I called her. One year, Mr. McDonald was not in the island, and when he came back in the morning, I heard him saying to her up by the office, "You need to let go of the name Sassy. That name is not a part of you. You are Mrs. Mac. You are the boss now, so act like a boss." At the front of the shop, he said, "If I hear any one of you call her Sassy, I will fire you." Hey, man, serious. He man is on his sassy business. He man say, if you call her so one more time. Mr. Mac and I would reason in the evenings when the shop closed, and he would talk to me about what was going on in the shop or what he would hear on the streets, the witness recalled. He would say, "How you never tell me say Tony have man?" We would talk about who him a go kill and shoot. He always said him not drink him coffee hot. Him say him wait till it cool. He would ask if I felt Tony was keeping another man. I told him I did not know, added the witness. Now, according to the witness, Beachy Stout and Tonya looked loving and happy in the early years of their relationship, but claimed the happiness between them fluctuated up and down like, you understand? This minute they are happy, the next minute they are arguing. But I mean, there's regular these relationship things going on, you know. You understand? But alright, never mind. I was there during some of their arguments. Sometimes the argument is about her having a next man. Sometimes he would argue with her to put interest in the business. Sometimes he would tell her to stop arguing with the cashiers and start acting like a boss. He would argue with her about her writing checks without his knowledge. Sometimes he would say, "Tonya, where you coming from?" He said, so like her father, like, you understand? Now, around 2015 or 2016, I noticed her body language changed and her face was dragging. Normally, when she come to the shop, she would say, "Good morning, everybody." Some mornings, she would be happy, and some mornings, she came in dry without saying anything. Some used to go work still. You understand? Sometimes, me want to go, and sometimes, me don't want to go. You understand? Do you see anything to... whatever, man. Sometimes I notice that they would not be together often, hugging and looking down on the business or talking. In 2019, the relationship was already rocky. Most of the nights when the shop closed or when I went upstairs, I heard him arguing with her about having man. I know every time she leave the business and gone, he continued. The witness claimed he saw Tonya come to the office with her face swollen, and that on different occasions, Beachy Stout would destroy cellular phones belonging to her. He grabbed her head and slammed it in the wall. She was looking about lodgement, and she had the phone on the counter. I heard him shout at her to put down the phone and do the lodgement. He pushed out his chair, went over to her and grabbed it up. She grabbed it back from him. He took the phone and said, "This is all you pay attention to," and he smashed it out, the witness claimed, adding that the situation caused her to tell her husband at that point that she was going home because she was tired of the treatment, the witness told the court. There's a typo in this article. The article is full of typo these days, you know. According to the witness, when she took up her things to leave the office, Beachy Stout allegedly told her to go on and get out of his life. She took up her handbag and left, the witness claimed. He said he did not want her in his sight. He built an office for her and she went up there out of his sight. Man, serious. He would take away her phone and confine her to the shop. He would come there sometimes in the night and argue with her to leave those careless friends who she was texting and calling, which caused her to leave the shop. He said, "Me not tell you, say me no want to see you and that girl attack. All she does is give you man before she go about her business," he said. You understand? So this was Tuesday. Now, today again, the witness took the stand. You understand? Beachy Stout planned to disfigure face of wife's policeman lover, said the witness. Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout McDonald had reportedly ditched his plan to shoot and kill a policeman he claimed was having an affair with his wife, and instead came up with a plan to disfigure the man's face. One of the businessman's former employees had testified that McDonald had accused Tony of cheating with the lawman. The witness testified that McDonald had also shown him nude pictures of his wife and her alleged lover together, as well as one of them on a date. After looking at the photos, the witness testified that McDonald had threatened to kill the policeman. However, the witness said McDonald later told him that he was going to burn up the policeman instead, after accusing the policeman of reporting him for a threat. Oh, so it looked like him page the police. The witness said the businessman sent him to purchase the corrosive substance and asked him to pour it on his hand, McDonald's hands. But he was afraid and started trembling. That's a big man. Let me dash it on here. He said McDonald got upset and shouted at him using expletives. The witness said he could not remember whether he complied or if McDonald poured it himself. However, he remembered that after the liquid was poured onto McDonald's left wrist, McDonald started flashing his hand and ordered him to get water to pour on his hand. You know, see what I'm going? The witness said McDonald then told him that the corrosive substance was to deal with the police boy. Me can't shoot him again, so me I'll get somebody to deal with him face. Make she and him live with them one another when me done deal with fear face too. The witness said when he heard, he advised his ex-boss to just give her $10 million. Asked what the money was for, the witness said he had heard them arguing one day about it in the supermarket but could not provide further details. Yeah, so that's how it did. Tomorrow again, them will talk some more things. You see? Jaja. A man, we say him test the acid pan himself. He look that way there, sir. You see me? I want funeral, them a stream Beachy Stout trial. Me not even check that. Them probably not gonna stream a trial, them probably gonna stream like the plea mitigation part of it. Yeah, so them something that the witness said Beachy Stout did go on with leading up to Tonia's murder. So I suppose as he testify and as other witnesses testifies, because I think also that I don't remember the name of the other person who has been sentenced. He confessed to his involvement, and I think he will also be a prosecution witness. So it will be interesting to hear what he has to say. Apparently, he was the hitman. He was the person who was... I don't remember film story, but he must serve, so I think him get about 19 years somewhere. He pleaded guilty, and I think he may be called to testify as well. So it will be interesting going forward to hear these things. Plus, remember, say Beachy have him first wife trial a start January 2. And Beachy about 300 lawyer. Let me tell you what, let me say, cause alright, boom so. McDonald and his, then I mentioned him yesterday, but him have enough lawyer. You understand? Beachy have half a lawyer them down at Bar Association of Jamaica. You see me? So, yeah. So there's an article in the Observer that gives you a little bit more detail about what was said in court. They give you a description of some of the pictures and such. Yeah, about 4 of them for juvenile. I don't remember the name. I think Townsend is a part of his team, of his legal team and stuff. So on Thursday night, I made passing mention about the situation surrounding Philip Palwell's missing child and the child's mother. He says at this point, remember that they held a person of interest who was attempting to board a flight at the Norman Mall International Airport. Apparently, he was on a watch list, so he was not charged either, and he was released. He's not in custody, but he was prevented from boarding the flight. Philip Palwell leans on God amid search for a missing child and her mother. Member of Parliament for East Kingston and Port Royal, Philip Palwell, says his faith has sustained him as the search continues for his missing 10-month-old daughter and her mother. Palwell's daughter, Sharia Palwell, and her 27-year-old mother, Tashina Patterson, has been missing for more than 2 weeks. The veteran lawmaker thanked Jamaicans for their prayers on Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives. The mother and the child are believed to have been abducted from their home in St. Andrew on September 9. A long time that, you know. Today I was the 27th of a long time that. Many even counted date, I know a long time. You understand? The pair were reportedly last seen at their gate on Gilmore Drive sometime after 7 that morning. A $500,000 reward has been offered for any information leading to their safe return. Yeah. Good night, Alicat. How are you? It's good to see you. Hope all is well. Zane, so it's been a long time that about 1 month now. 3 weeks ago now upon 3 weeks going into a month. Yeah? I know. And I think the investigation is transnational. I think there's an investigation going on in the United States because there's some extortion thing, and it's multifactorial and multi-dimensional, the scope and scale of this investigation apparently. But up to this date, they are unable to provide any information about the location of the missing child and their mother. It's a long time for a child and their mother to be missing. You understand what I say? I served the Portland Division, and to be exact, Port Antonio in the 80s as a cop for a number of years. I know this dude very well, Beachy Stout, controlling, crazy. In fact, I know Petal very well, or Lady Marlene. So that's the situation with Paul Wells' missing child and her mother. As I said the last time I streamed, I hope that they are still alive. 3 weeks is a long time. You understand? It's a long time. Yeah. So, all right. So say, you see, me always tell you, you see, if I was ever to become a politician, me can't lose my constituency. Unless me not run for. You understand? Because, me don't know, me just, it's like, certain things, you just make sure so you put them things in place and certain things you don't do. If I should ever become prime minister, you see, me don't know, me have to go left it because they couldn't beat me. You understand what I say? Because some foolishness I mean say, the current administration and previous administration, both Jamaica Labour Party and PNP administration can't catch me. You understand? You can't catch me then way there. You understand? Because me see the man they make some decision more time. Me I wonder say, and then these people supposed to have advisors, you know. Zin, where I make a whole heap of money, you know. Because you see, if you want to make a whole heap of money in Jamaica, you be a consultant. Or me need to start consulting, you know. You understand? We are take too much insult for now consult. Me I go start consult. We are work on consultation business. Because say that you make enough money. You understand? These advisors make a lot of money based on what I know. And like what I say the advice what them I give, the man them not take it cause I must say they not take your advice. I can't say your advisor them fool. You understand what I say? And me always well, I mean, I know. But the government, the Jamaica Labour Party administration has been squandering their political capital left, right, and center. You know, you work your money with spoon and I take shovel that way. I saw them and deal with it. You know. The amount of political capital that the Prime Minister and this party had after the last general election, you see? There was a point when me I look on all the People's National Party and me I say then that where them all go from here so. Like me I say and the Jamaica Labour Party has found every way possible to use shovel and dash way political capital where they use spoon and make. You know what spoon I mean, I talk big spoon, because someone now say teach, suppose spoon, big spoon can fully shovel fast. Nobody come here with no smart business. We talk teaspoon. You use teaspoon, collect your political capital, and you use shovel that way. Watch it. The man them you know, what day ya, after the negotiation, the very acrimonious and tumultuous negotiation with public sector workers about wage increase was very rocky. And some people get some little things from another party and another party. The man then raise their own salary by about 200%, the lowest for each person. Some men now get 300% raise. See? People will never forgive them for that, you know. I can assure you, so there are people in this country will vote against them just because of that one sitting there. We never touch corruption and the whole heap of scandal them, you know. From Real Read come right up, you know. Because you know, if you call Real Read, don't come out there, you know. As long as I am doing this, Real Read name our call. Because, watch out. So, the man them now, raise for them pay by 200+%, and public sector workers I get one little bit of percent. Political capital dash around. You understand what I say? So, apparently now, so that was for cabinet ministers and member of parliaments and councillors. So in that, the Senate, them never get no raise. The Senate doesn't get us, members of the Senate don't receive a salary. they get a set amount, a set payment for each appearance at Senate appearances. Yeah, as of now, it stands at $53,000. See? And remember, before we go any further, remember me tell you saying I was not opposed to the salary increase of politicians. However, you cannot, in good conscience, tell public sector workers that this is all we can do for you. And then now, you get 250% raise after this. I look up 6, 7, 8, 9% what me can get, and you like so the man them weighed out this. I'm tell you say it was also a political move, because I think the discussion was, so this was the discussion. You know, a big neck man them neck them big and feel me like, you know, then jacket suit sit down around one table and them say, "Alright, here we go." And you know, say people them go beat it, but election at 2 years time, you know. So you know Jamaica stay. Everything is a 9-day wonder. Hot like 9-day love. You understand? So after a 9th day, then it thing go fade out and nobody now go make no noise no more. So even though them are cuss we up front, we have 2 years so we can sweep them up back, man. So make we take it early, because we can't take it the next year in an election year, you know. Or the year bleeding up into election, you know. So we have to take it from out here, so. And give them some time for it fade out, because you know Jamaicans only talk about things in 9 days, and so being pretty sorry discussion must go. You understand? So the man then goes and say, boom, so we are give them that over there and we take this over here, so political capital dash. If I was the prime minister, when me tell you how me then run off that, me tell them say I couldn't lose, you know. Watch it right. So me I say, all right, police, soldiers, teachers, nurses, doctors, civil servants. Based on how things set you now, Zane, me can only give you 10% increase this year. Next year, me go on 10%, and the next year, me go on 10%. And in good faith now, this is what we will do as politicians. We will also take a 10% increase we don't know this year, 10% next year, 10%. Me can't lose. And me and the people, them are roll. I feel me people, them here. Because me, I suffer with them and I struggle with them. Yeah, I feel these are my people. I am their people. We are people to get them love me. You understand? So if me I give you 13% this year and 7 next year and 10 next year in a 3-year cycle, at 13, 7 and 10. So anything you know I take at that, me I take too. You understand? And Sean say I was solid that the whole of we are suffer together until we can get better. Cause you see when the country I do better, you know, in the next 10 years. I'm going to want 25% increase the car we are going to have money them time. Yeah, my people them. You understand what I say? It's my people them. But no, 200%, 250%, nearly 300% run at some part. Yeah? And again, I not tell you say, politicians' pay should not, of course it should be raised, but you can't raise it by 200% family. In all good conscience, it should never have been over 50% of what it was before. And then you do it, okay? So even in next thing, you know, as a politician kind of, you know what I mean, always have some smoke and mirrors like, and then say, all right, so here we're going. So even if we get it to 200%, you know, you go so boom, so watch you right. So in our first year, we are well off one look 50%, yes, so. Them good as cost a little bit. But next year, you know, one look 50% less. So. Because yeah, bite-sized pieces. So the shock to the consciousness of the country would not be so dramatic. But tell them say, if me going to then dead about it and watch it. It wouldn't be so. So even though it's still I could look away, them are say, all right, here we go on. You know, 50% and 200% are whole 150% different. So there are ways and means. I mean, know enough of them money study political science, and some of the advisors them do that too. And politics is about how you engage and interact with the populace, the constituents. You understand me? I said, teach, give yourself a raise weekend. You see me? I said, the man them not no style, the man them not no craft. You understand me? I said, the man them styleless and craftless. But watch it. So the MP then get them salary and the country been a beat them for a long time. And as me say again, for the records, I am okay with politicians' salaries being increased. What I am not okay with is the level of increase. And not only the level of increase, but the climate in which that level of increase was given. Seeing that on just a wrestle with public servant work, as I said, we can't go no more. And then on take the whole kitchen sink and the pipe them under the sink and the pipe them will lead to your house and the dirt will cover your pipe plus the plumber will install it. Wicked. You understand me? I say, man, no crap. But watch you now. Apparently, there has been some sitting web signed from one taller time. If say, starting last year, April 1, the start of the fiscal year, there was supposed to be an automatic adjustment in the stipend that is being paid to senators. And me, I tell you, you see, even if that was discussed, you see, after me, see what go on in our streets, but it 200 and 250%, that have a scrapping. Look, brother, on understand. Mr. Advisor, you're not a sensor. What kind of advice that you give me? I'm not depend that today now. Because the people them just crucify me out there already. And you expect me, we have planned for secret election as Prime Minister in this country. I will go to the people them now and tell them raise senators pay by 179%, brother. You no can't trick me. Nobody come in with the advice. As a matter of fact, you even about get no pay for this month because the advice don't make no sense. You understand what I mean? Watch it. So some section say it wasn't announced, some say it was announced, but the long and short of the story is that teach by next year time, most of who voting remember the 200% race because something bigger will come up. It sales and market. Brother, you know what I think? When I tell us, say, man, them sit down and work it out. I say, we have 2 years to then forget this, we can't stay there. But if we not do it now, we can't do it again. I know some of them are going to say, sorry to be doing this there. I know some people are going to say this unprofessional, but you say, through the studio, lock up like, me have to have a look at AC around here. See AC like, it kind of dry up my lip like, and then I can't afford for my lip look like me heel back. You understand? So, me have to do that look a bit. So, watch you now. Government puts massive hike in senators' stipend on hold. And again, for the record, I am not opposed to the senators them being remunerated for their contributions to the country. I know some people are saying, teach, politics are service, and then you not go serve for free, sir. Then if you rich and happy and you can take care of your family, then you go serve for free. Then it says, it's work, me a work. You understand? So, hard work, encouragement certainly labor, sir. You see me? So, me don't know about that part the way people they serve your country. Yeah, me I serve my country and I would be a great servant to my country. As me say, me then be the people's champion. Brother, I'm telling you, say, that G you are going. Big up yourself, and bro. It's so good to see you. You understand? Me know some more time you listen, but you're not coming, but it's always great to see you. Me telling you, say, if me ever decide to take up that something when in politics. I remember me telling you, when I was growing up, I always wanted to enter representational politics, you know. But when me grew up and see how politics run in Jamaica, it is not for me. Because through me is kind of a person, I go tell you my mind and tell you, say, brother, that don't make no sense, you know, and move from yourself with that, you know. You understand? I'm Mr. PM. Then you're mad, sir. Like, how you go with that? Man, go on with that, man. Then I go put me around one part round, so, and then the people are now go see me. You understand? And the backbench thing, I me have to decide to grow on there. You can't put me around there. Me not have no problem with the backbench, but I me have to grow on them myself. Certain places you can't put me. You understand? So if you go backbench me, then the people they now go. I not love that. You see me? Because I come to work with the people and serve the people. And because I go tell us your foolishness. And you know, in a Jamaica politics, a yes man syndrome. You understand me? I say, and you have to be a party man. And them something, me now go depend that. Because I go tell them say some things that make no sense and then not go like that. So I'm not sure about it. But if me go in there, people, me I tell her, I my people there. You understand me? I say, if you never make me go in there, I'll Guinea stain in a white shirt. Well, look who curry the dep and ready to that no bleach and cake soap and son can get out that. That me I tell her. Watch you now. So the government on Tuesday halted a 179% increase in the stipend for senators, announcing that a new basis for determining adjustment is to be finalized. Alright. The proposed increase in stipend, which would have moved the payments per sitting from $53,000 to $148,000. And the Senate meets 4 times per month. So if you collect $150,000 per month, that's what? 600 grand for a month what a work. Plus, you're traveling now in this because you get $100 for each kilometer you're traveling. Because when you claim for your traveling, and as I say the senator them not earn a sensible remuneration, but me I say, based on won't go on with one other part that we don't salary increase for parliamentarians and politicians. This shouldn't be up for discussion. This should have even never come out in a if this could but then we don't think I said, but then them never did a plan for increase. Look here, we don't make them stay around there. So senators them all right till next year. We talk to them after one next time and take time bring up them things. But so the proposed increase in stipend, which would have moved payments per sitting from $53,000 to $148,000, was outlined in a letter from the clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Valerie Curtis. So in a statement on Tuesday, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said the increase will not be implemented. He said that he has directed that the letter dated September 14th be rescinded. So all was in place to announce it. And then the man named Smelly. Clark said that the correspondence from the clerk followed from a cabinet decision of 2008. Somebody did read this and me I say, a long time. But me I say, I mean about this after we go on, it can't come on road. 2008 that automatically indexed the stipend of senators to the highest fee paid for service on a board as a board director of a public body. Meaning if you do some of that, cause them make money around it, then me no can serve two board too. You understand me? I say he said it. He said it. Both of these evidence laughing. He said immediately prior to this 2008 decision, senators were being paid $1,000 per meeting. Then you tell me I left my yard. Because my man them would have come from Westmoreland. You understand? And then me left my yard 4 times a month. And when me go back home 4 times a month, $4 grand me I go home with. Me no love that. Hey Taniel, how are you? It's good to see you. See, me no love that. You understand? If 1 to 4, so prior to 2008, each Senate sitting was $1,000 per senator, and the highest public body board was $6,000 per meeting. So they are now. So let me try explain this. So the decision was to index the stipend of senators to the highest fee paid for service on a board of directors. So the highest fee that was being paid to board of directors in the public service was $6,000. So the senators them did get $1,000. You understand? No. Fast forward to 20 where we're there. The highest board fee outlined was $74,000. So them supposed to earn now in conjunction with that. You understand? According to Curtis's letter, which was addressed to the President of the Senate, Tom Tavares Finson, it was copied to Leader of Government Business, Kamina Johnson-Smith, and Leader of Opposition Business, Peter Bunting. Clark said that when public body board fees were last increased in 2019, Senate stipends were automatically adjusted as per the 2008 cabinet decision. So this was a cabinet decision them from 2008 and all right. So all right, fine. And these took effect on April 1. All fools, these things always come on Tom Fool Day, April 1. When the financial year start, April 1, Tom Fool Day, all of them things, never mind. Clark said that when public body board fees, I said that already. Shortly thereafter, as Minister of Finance and Public Service, I met with a bipartisan group of senators to discuss this administration's view of the unsustainability of this automatic peg and the likely unintended consequences, he said. I wonder what were the consequences, Mr. Nigel. Among other things, I used the opportunity to outline the position of the administration that the Senate stipend would remain unchanged, even with further upward adjustment of board fees. while a new basis for determining Senate stipend adjustment is finalized. So then gone back to the drawing board. The decision comes 4 months after the political directorate raked in huge salary increases, with compensation to members of parliament and cabinet ministers surging past 200%. The government has been hammered for months over the hike, which it said was important to incentivize performance. Yes, and as me I say, this because when I was preparing the news yesterday, I actually scripted that the Senate stipend has been increased by 179%. It was whilst in preparing to actually record the news. Me see the story where them said them are withdraw it, so me edit it and sit. You understand? So the word was out in the street already. Them said them are rescinding, and so what they're saying now is this was a decision of cabinet from 2008 to index the stipend increase to that of the highest salary being paid or stipend being paid to board people in the public service. You understand? But them know say now, come me watch up, let me tell you what go on. So the big neck man, them in a meeting again, the man when them big on for me, and them in a jacket and tie like. So them sit down and them say, but then hold on there. The people them still a cost we say we raise the salary by 1,000,000% recently. What you think I got now, brother? Remember say we poll them and show said this and that and yo. I don't know. You see me? But them say this was automatic and it has been on the table from 2018. So it automatically took effect in last year. So them would have forget so watch your maths now, you know, I could work out one next month. So I don't follow too. April 1, 2020. So if April 1, 2020 became effective, that means that them would have to get 3 years out of retroactive money, you know. What one if you don't follow me I say? Because it came into effect just like the salaries for MPs and member of parliament. It is retroactive to April 1, 2020, if memory serves. 2020. I don't want to tell a lie upon them, you know. You understand what I say? Because I'm not a lie, them telling them need nobody to tell a lie upon them, you know. Them telling enough lie for everybody. See? But this 179% increase would have been retroactive to 2023 years out of retroactive money, you know. You know that maths there. I remember say the man them Senate support car watching it. Me a Senate and 150 grand per sitting 4 times. Everyone me there. Me present, punctual, participating. You understand? Yeah, man. Me there, yeah. Mama, every Senate, I am right there. You understand? All when me sick, me did it. Somebody had make sure I send me medication in my vehicle. Ready. Right there. So, imagine. So, say, just round it off. 600 a month. And 612. You do the maths, man? Or that 7.2 mil there about. See? So the 7.2 mil now times 3, so that's about 21.6 mil. That's so. Retroactive. If for the 3 years. But I now miss none. I am present, sir. Yeah, me first did it. You understand? I'll serve on the water. But on a serious note now still. It couldn't have flied, you understand, for probably economic reasons, but probably more political reasons. Yeah? Because, as me tell you, the political capital where the man them use tablespoon and pile up, them I use shuffle like that way. Yeah, so I say so many things since the government has been elected has been eroding their political capital. You understand? I suppose one of the things that is still in their favor is that whether you like it or not, Andrew is still more popular and has a higher favorability rating than Mark Golding. Because I'm a matter of fact, I want to tell you, say, in one poll we went recently, Mark Golding is the third most popular person in People's National Party. You know. People have Damien and Lisa more favorable than Mark, you know. You understand? So that fear tell you what you need. So that is one. And in Jamaica, the land we love, Jamaicans, because we not vote. Let me see how I put this. Because I don't want to hurt no feelings. You know. We don't vote based on issues. We vote based on popularity. You understand? So Jamaicans don't necessarily vote for them MPs, you know. Jamaicans vote for them prime minister and it trickle down to the MP. So when him go and cast a vote, him not cast a vote for your MP, you know. Him not cast a vote for the prime minister. So Jamaicans vote based on prime ministerial lines. As I tell you, I study the politics on a local level, and I do politics as a course of study when I was doing, I think, I did at them time then, before I do my degree, yeah? So, like, me kind of look on the thing for what it is. You understand what I say? So, PG was always more popular than Siaga, you know? You understand? Portia was incredibly popular. It's just that the campaign them bros run the year they did set away. You understand what I say? And then also leading up to that, you had Peter Phillips contesting the presidential, the PNP presidency, and there was a lot of rift and infighting in the PNP and Bruce slide tackle them. You understand what I say? And then now the election with Portia lose, them spend half of the election at about Andrew House and now focus on the issues them. You understand? And then Peter Phillips then say them now do not debate and people take that to heart and say, all right, watch your style here. So even though Portia was very popular, because of some things where they go on in the PNP, Zane, them lose sight of the fact and focus on Andrew House up a place up so and then get caught out. You understand? So Andrew sneak in himself in I think, you know. Zane, and then now last election there because the PNP again still tear itself apart. You understand? Rise United versus one PNP. You understand? And then going to all hell broke loose. You see? So, as I said, I look at the politics and I enjoy the politics of the politics. Not the tribalism and the partisan stupid ways that someone will have. You understand? But I see some things where probably a next man not necessarily I look on. And I mean, I say, me probably see it because me probably I look on it that way there, but then probably I not say going either cause. But yeah, me like certain aspect of it. And when you see the chess moves, I say, hey, all right. So I go on this, you know, boom, boom, all right. That's the counter move. That's how I see it come from far, you know. See me? Like, I have told you quite a few things before what me think are going to happen. And so said, so done. Me is not a genius. Me just look on it. All right, maybe a little. You understand? All right, never mind. So, yeah, the amount of scandals that has rocked the Jamaica Labour Party, the amount of accusations and allegations of cronyism and nepotism and misappropriation of funds and corruption and eruption and all sorts of things. They have been squandering their political capital, and as such, the People's National Party, despite its troubles, because there are still embers that are smoldering in the People's National Party, and they just want to fan it local, and it start burn down again. You understand? They have found their feet and their voice and start find one little farm again. You see me? So, based on the result of the last election, it should then mean, say, all things being equal, the PNP not see power again for about 1, 2, 3 consecutive term. But the JLP being arrogant and feeling like their political capital is infinite. And also you walk around. So a day in politics in Jamaica is a long time. You understand? Remember what Portia did say last election? Then you see me look like a loser? I look like a loser to you? You will see tonight. And we see it night. You understand? Jamaica don't love nobody like that. You see me? So don't feel like say you're indispensable about it. See? And one of the next thing, I'm tell you again, you know, if me go in and then dead. Let me show you how then dead. All Jamaican politicians operate about it, then they're not sensibly, you know. You see, Jamaican people are naturally forgiving people. As a politician, you have to work a crowd, you know. Jamaican people will forgive you, you know. But here, all Jamaican people forgive you. So when you come to the people and say, look, my people, I have been found wanting. You understand me? I say, I was wrong. And you are who I serve. And I am extending my sincere and deepest apologies to you guys. And I endeavor to fix what needs to be fixed and hold me accountable if me not fix it. But in a Jamaica, no man, we perfect, we infallible, we never do nothing wrong about ya. And anytime we do nothing wrong, here how we do it now. So if JLP do something wrong, them tell us say PNP did do it one of them time around this. And when the PNP do something wrong, you say Labour Party did do it. Me I link the people, man, I say, yeah people, here we go. And you know say that's something there wrong and you know, say, you're not supposed to happen, and it won't happen again. Under my watch, it can't happen again. And I will put the systems in place. You know, I am craving here for it. When me don't talk to them, I might be, yeah, me say, man. They're not smart about it, you know. I can't remember a politician going to the people and say, look here. So I have been leader of the party of this administration for the past 3-4 years, right? Some of the promises that we have made based on XYZ, we have not been able to fulfill them. But we still intend to try and rectify them. We apologize for the fact that this not done it and this not do that. Done it, right? A lot of the bureaucracy and things need to change and we are work on them something. But now we come around and like say, yeah, move mountains when they now move one little hill, brother. Talk to the people and be real to the people them. As I say, Jamaicans, we are very forgiving people. You understand what I say? Think about it. Think about some people about here where do some things where Jamaicans forgive them. Think about them. I don't have a call on them. Think about them. You understand what I say? I'm willing to forgive them. Go to the people, them humbly, man. And accept, say, look here. Me promise you this, you know. Zine? So, yeah, so Andrew did say, when if you don't vote for me, you can't sleep. But right now, you sleep with the window, mosquito killer. That mosquito first a killer, then some man come killer. So, I'm telling you, say, me go fix crime and make you sleep with the window down the doors home. Alright. Right now, you can't even do that. You have to all buy a grill. So that was a miscalculation. Right? This is the situation. We need more time. We are begging more time. We need more resources. We are looking at that. We are looking at modernizing the police force and them something. Be real to the people, them. But here what the Jamaica Labour Party are coming. They come say, yes, we were trying to implement state of emergency and the parliamentary opposition took us to court, and instead of accepting responsibility, they are going to try, deflect and cast blame. Yes, and I'm telling you, say, if you not dead about here, man. Be real to the people. You see what Jamaicans love? Realness. You understand me? I say realness. Yeah, we're wrong, you know. But you are real about it and you're humble about it, and them look into it and say, you know, so we are give him a next chance. You understand me? I say humility, man. You can't go on like you're too arrogant and hype and you're better than the people. Them, and you're not take no talk, you're not listen what the people them I say. And I say it work. In a democratic society, remember, this is not a dictatorship. This is not a dictatorship, you know. This is a democratic country. People have the right to choose who they want. So I like it's a North Korean election where only one man can win, or it's a Chinese election right now, based on how it go. Or a Russian election where the man them put certain things in place to make sure they them retain. I know so you go. You understand me? I say people go vote. So members say, but I don't know. Arrogance is a big thing in a politics too. You understand? I'm tell us politicians in Jamaica and both sides feel like the people serve them and them not serve the people. You see me? Like how we serve them, you know. We are in servitude to politicians instead of the other way around. And them elect we to serve them. And I say that going about it because we have so emboldened them and make them feel like, say, yo, no matter what kind of folly them keep up, them still are going. Our fault. We have to take responsibility for that. Because them know saying, you see another house there, from Wapid it killed Philip, them the people there have vote for the PNP. So them will never stop vote for the PNP. Because remember, we did give them 2 zinc one time, you know, and we did give them 3 chicken. You understand? And we kind of fix the road every now and then. We know it go wash off back fast, but we did cover it with local asphalt. And we did help Miss Mavis' daughter with her school fee 2 times. And then the labor right them over say, I say, don't have that lane there, I feel we lane that. You understand? Don't green. You understand what I mean? I say everybody around us are green. See, because say, we ensure say, every now and then, every 5 years, we keep one little thing down there, string up on sound, cook some curry goat, buy some rum. You understand? And we give them 2 zing to one, we give them 3 chicken to one. We did make Miss Merle, granddaughter, go to school, and we help with Miss Mavis' sister medical bill, and we buy a couple of medication. So because we are idiot. You don't even know what going on both there. You understand? So yeah, man, them program right now. I remote control the man them off with it. And see the political climate kinda I get heated, and all sort of things are being said and done, and allegations of this and allegations of that, because like that we been a cuss for the last 5 years, you know. You understand? But as local music start playing too, pot cover start knock, our belt start ring, our finger start put up, our fist start full, we don't need it again. For one good 6 months, we don't have no sense. And yes, you know, you have to be a part of the political process because you must decide who you think is the best team or organization to bring your country forward, you know. So of course, parties, but you can't forget what going on in the last 5 years, you know. So you're making your decision now with 5 years out of information, you know. Or 10 years out of information, you know. You not operate blind no more, you know. You want to make the decision based on your experience over the last 5 years. But for about 6 months, we roll around here and dump it back. Some orange bat and some green bat. Speaking about orange bat and green bat, I see we are president of the UIC, the party that was supposed to break the status quo, saying that the last whichever years has taken an emotional, psychological, and financial toll on him and his family, and he's passing on the baton to somebody else in the organization, and effectively, Mr. Patterson is no longer president of the UIC. You understand? UIC was supposed to be the alternative. UIC was getting a little name in the street, and people were getting excited. What happened? I don't know what going on around this. What happened? You understand? I see them again a complain the last time, say mainstream media now give them not ear time and I shut them out. And I'm tell a brother we call in one night in one call-in stream, say, I don't spend too much time I complain. Work social media, man. Put on yourself out there. Social media right now is more powerful than mainstream media, you know, whether you want to accept it or not, you know. That's why the media houses them are we them a compete with now, you know. Not teach them per se, because we still look a bit yes, but you have channels on social media where that's how people get them news from. Maybe look a bit from here, so. You understand? But they see us as why them see we as if we never nobody them want to see we as a competitor. You understand what I say? Think about it. There have been live streams on this year channel where you know we don't really do the sus and gossip and excitement, where 3,000-4,000 people are watch, 7,000-8,000 people are watch, because some foolish is going on with that about it still. Me see TV station I keep live stream and I me alone and watch it. Then me I say yeah, so they are seeing social media as competition. And that is why you see the mainstream media, if you count, I'm telling you again, I don't know, probably through my head big and my head and kind of wide, I see some things. If you look on it, look on the media houses now, you start look on them headlines. Their headlines are so designed now to tap into the social media thing. I compete with the vlog, because you know the vlogger them, when more time the vlogger then do some tightly, you know. Then me I say, well man, then sit down and work out this so. You understand me I say? In a negative way, yes or no. But some of the social media, some of the mainstream media outlets now, I saw them take them time and a coin them titles and the terminologies and the texture and tone of their articles is to compete with vloggers and bloggers. You understand? And so, the quality that we have come to expect from mainstream media is really and truly declining significantly. Because they are now in a constant rush to be the first to get it out there, because them don't want the bloggers and vloggers and content creators like myself. That's how I say I'm not a vlogger and a blogger. I create content. Nice content. You understand? So it is all now about being first and not always fact checking and getting it right. You know, so they have to be apologizing. And for editorial purposes, we aired something last night, and that's the thing, the brother. So me couldn't know, say, you know, UIC, you spend so much time and complain about mainstream media. Control social media, brother. Where artists are boss now. Social media artists are boss from. Mainstream media now boss nobody again. Radio station now boss nobody. What did they do to listen radio like that? And my grandmother and my grandaunt and them people, they still are listening radio. You understand? Everybody not really listen mainstream media to that. So, get the social media. Social media, it's free if you post on Twitter. It's free if you post on YouTube. It's free if you post on Instagram. It's free if you post over TikTok. Get yourself in front of the people and stop complaining. But mainstream media do, are on to get on the money up and buy on the slots. Them mainstream media go take on the money as work. Them and work. Them now go tell us, oh, we don't want UIC money. UIC money is not the same. It don't have the same value as PNP money or JLP money. Them is going to take it. So if no money not enough, then you can't complain. But if no money not enough, you no dig social media. You understand? So, I don't know. But yeah, Mr. Patterson has resigned as president of the UI. I'm telling you already, you know. I'm honest with you, know. I don't know, I'm always honest with you. I say, no for me, I make up, because man, I'll cost me already, you know. Remember when there was some demonstration when they lock up Mr. Patterson? I reported, say, a demonstration, and the dog, them running upon me. I said, me is a company man, and me at this. And me, I said, then better when the next election come, no one no vote for UIC. No for one go vote for Labour Right and PNP, see me. You understand what I say? No for one. No for them when you say out here talk about UIC. When election day come and then go in another local cubicle there, only God see and know. You understand? Them put the hex beside the bell and pan the head beside the head. They don't make them trick on. You hear me? So me telling you, like me see it already. Man come when Asta Black fam. Yeah, this in third party. Asta Black to the world. A one vote Asta Black get election day and I him vote for himself. I remember say somebody that fi nominate him, and so all the people that will nominate him left him out in a cold. Cause as good as all him, I don't want to mash up Asta Black marriage, you know. But me I wonder if I have to nominate him because she never bother vote. Me don't know. She a Rasta and she don't know voting thing. Cause I said them left Asta Black, I one vote. And when you check it out, Asta Black, the guy polling station go vote. Asta Black vote for himself. And me did say Asta Black is the change that we need. And the change that we seek. And we need a difference. We're tired of PNP and we're tired of Labour. Asta Black to the world. Asta one vote. You know, go back. Yo, the Jamaican people and politics then can't trick me about ya. So me all teach you for going up on a move. Teach you go vote, move. Yeah man, teach you have to stop on a move. You can't trick me. You understand me? People can't. This a boy, yeah. And me say one of the two Asta Black about ya. You not idiot, man. Yo, things say me I make on a trick me like on a trick Asta Black. Finar, you can go and talk until you go in a cubicle. And then you go put your X beside the head or beside the bell. And me expect so you put your X beside whatever side me have. And then when election night and them a count the vote, and me I see the party they just one vote because me did go vote for myself. Then me don't know about that. So no, make wrap up in parliament business. So one of the next hot button topic, me seems to big up yourself, you know. I am happy that, you know, despite all of the carnage and foolishness we are going on in the country, I apologize for this again, peace. Me tell you know why. Me now me could make my lip look like my heel back. You know, stand there. You understand? So you see that time I be a sweat me down and run under my glass so. See, and you see that glass here? That glass is the first glass I did get, you know. But then my eyes them did still feels weird. So I did go back, go get a new glass. So it's a good thing that I did keep this glass. Because you see, newer glass I get, see, I left it on my desk right there, see, you know. And Mr. Amir, apparently, me did build the studio for him. So I have to be in here. Boy, I take up my glass and bite the whole island. You know? And then me I said, then to put me beat up Amir, you know. He said means abusive father, you know. And I got prison, you know. So me have a job back for the old glass. So right now, me I soon and leave and soon. You know there? Yeah, you know, so bad still, but yeah. But Marisa Dalrymple Philibert, is it? She was a speaker of the House and she resigned, recused herself because she has been criminally charged by the Integrity Commission for making a false declaration on her statutory declaration. Say she forgets that she owns a $6 million BM Benz. Yo, so the Speaker of the House position was vacant. However, the Deputy Speaker of the House, so when Marisa Dalrymple Philibert was selected as Speaker of the House, her deputy was Member of Parliament for East Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Holness. She also happens to be the Prime Minister's wife. Teacher, I would like to start see you placement ads in the background during your live stream. You're on that level now. Big up yourself, you know, bro. But you know, go on to your man. Stage down faces. We just go and put in some work until the people them see the thing and them can't ignore it no more. And them, you understand what I say? But we just go and do the work and satisfied with what we earn and I give thanks until them time to come. So we just go and try improve and make the thing reach on a level. You see? So back to the story, because I know some people ears cock up because they hear boom ready me now. So Mrs. Holness was Deputy Speaker of the House. When she was selected at the time, I don't remember if there was, you know, a uproar, furore over it. I don't remember. If you can remember, you tell me. See? No. Many people were suggesting that it would not be a good move for her to be selected as Speaker of the House, seeing that she is the wife of the Prime Minister. And that has possibilities of conflict of interest. And some people have even used the word nepotism. You understand what I say? However, that said, it was very interesting that the opposition People's National Party appeared okay with her being selected because her nomination was seconded by none other than leader of opposition business in the Senate. That him me no want to lie upon him. Yeah. Philip Paulwell. Zine? So it would appear that there is some consensus within the opposition People's National Party about being okay or in agreement with Mrs. Holness being Speaker of the House. It would appear that way to me. I understand the people, though, who are leading the nepotism conversation to a level, Zine, and the potential for a conflict of interest. Because I suppose the question is, if the Prime Minister does something inside the House of Parliament that is not in keeping with the standing orders, will he be reprimanded by the Speaker of the House, his wife? Also, will matters surrounding the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister's statutory declarations have still not been cleared, certified as it, So there's that. There's even speak that the Prime Minister may be one of the illicit six, the six that are under investigation for illicit enrichment. So we don't know the six yet. You understand what I'm saying? So the question is that will the Speaker of the House be fair and professional in executing her duty as Speaker of the House and treat with matter involving any member of the House in a fair, objective, and professional manner, including her husband. So I suppose that is one part of the discussion and discourse. See? That said, the Member of Parliament for East Rural St. Andrew, Juliet Holness, is the new Speaker of the House of Representatives. Mrs. Holness who previously served as Deputy Speaker, replaces the MP for South Trelawney, Marisa Dalrymple Philibert. Well, she's still MP, but she resigned, so I know. Dalrymple Philibert resigned last Friday, days after the Integrity Commission recommended she be charged for falsifying her statutory declarations for the period 2015 to 2021. 6 years. The clerk to the House of Parliament, Valerie Curtis, read to MPs a brief letter sent to her by Dalrymple Philibert. So Deputy Leader of Government Business in the House, Delroy Chuck, then nominated Mrs. Holness to serve as the 16th Speaker of the House in Jamaica. The motion was seconded by Leader of Opposition Business, Philip Palwell. It is interesting to note that neither the Prime Minister nor the opposition leader were present, as to why I have no idea. But as per custom, the Clerk of the House asked if there was any other nominee for the role. Mrs. Holness took her seat as only the third woman in Jamaica's history to serve as House Speaker. The PNP's Violet Nielsen was the first, serving from 1997 to 2003. And Holness says her work as Speaker will be guided by the standing orders. And the MP for Central St. James, Leroy Clark, will serve as Deputy Speaker of the House. Yeah? I had Sunday night, asked the question if we can have a Speaker of the House that is neither PNP nor JLP. As per the Constitution, you have to be a Member of Parliament. And normally it is the governing party that selects the Speaker of the House on the first meeting of Parliament after a general election. See? So, yeah, I don't foresee that the Speaker would have come from the People's National Party based on the dynamics of Parliament and stuff. So, yeah. Independent. Yes, sir, Mr. G. That me did I say, but apparently based on the Constitution, no. So, what Mrs. Holness needs to ensure is that she operates using the standing orders as her guide. Well, me hear some interviews that she has done, and she has stated that that is how she intends to operate. So let's see. She needs to be fair to every member of the House, and she needs to treat with the matter of the House above board. And at no point should her integrity come into question. So let's see how it goes. You understand? She's a duly elected Member of Parliament, so that automatically qualifies her. She has been serving as Deputy Speaker of the House from 2020. That is 3 years now. So I guess the natural progression, I don't know that when the Prime Minister when she was selected as Deputy, if anybody had anticipated that the Speaker would resign before another general election. So it has happened, and here we are. And again, it is interesting that there seemed to have been no objection from the parliamentary opposition. The opposition tend to object to most things. I mean, as oppositions tend to do. As me tell you, say, when parties are in opposition, them have all the solution to all of the problems of the country. Them have the silver bullet for crime, for economic stagnation, for healthcare issues, for education, for everything. Until they become the government is like, I never the opposition them made it hear of all of the good ideas them, one of the good things them. You understand? I've seen it with various administrations throughout my young life. You understand? So the JLP had all of the solutions them for crime and the economy and education and healthcare and transportation and housing and mining, and see them go demarcate the cockpit country, say at the local part there cockpit country and want mine out SML 173. Remember, oh, me not forget. We talk about that one next time still. You understand? So, cause you know, we've been a fight there in an hour little way from the beginning of the fight there. See? And then now they have formed the government, and then crime is still criming. Education is still not educating. Healthcare is sick. The road networks are, it's crazy. So I'm not saying that not do since them take power in, but enough has not been done. And as I say again before, no political party in the history of the country, in any administration, has been all bad, but primarily they have been mostly bad. Both JLP and PNP. You understand? So this my party business and my party business and my part black dog and monkey. You understand what I say? Frying pot on fire. So you weigh them up and say, just a reality. Well, my reality based on what I have seen. You understand what I say? So don't come tell me say X, Y, or Z. Both of them has failed the country. Both political parties have failed the country repeatedly because on a lie. Only one term, one serve and the next term. They have had stretches of being in power and they have not done for Jamaica what they were elected to do. Yeah? And like Mr. Julian Robinson complained about procurement, the time and the hassle of procurement. And then me ask myself, so when the procurement guidelines change, since the PNP come in opposition, because then the same procurement guideline were there when the PNP was in power. So then Julian never see the issue from them time if you try to start fixing. Yeah, and that's a part of the politics where, oh, look, everything where the opposition are complaining about, they had the opportunity to fix it. Everything where the JLP they are complaining about, when them did not opposition, them have the opportunity to fix it now. And I've had opportunities to fix it now. Same for the PNP. They no fix. You understand what I say? Teach question is a Prime Minister wife third in line for what? I don't understand the question. You have to finish it. Yes, it's third in line for what? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so as I say, some screaming nepotism, some screaming conflict of interest, and all those screams are valid screams. Zane, it is now upon Mrs. Holness to prove those people wrong and to treat with the nation's business in a fair, frank, and objective manner. So she's being watched. To be I don't know who is next in line to be Prime Minister. I couldn't tell you that. I am not in the executive of the Jamaica Labour Party or privy to them things. I can tell you based on polls who the people would want, based on what I've seen, the people are saying that Chris Tufton would probably be their next choice. If it comes down to that with the Jamaica Labour Party and in the People's National Party, the people are saying that Damian Crawford would be their choice, or Lisa Anna. So as it relates to Juliet, I don't know. I am sure that there are people in the Jamaica Labour Party who would be before her in a situation, if a situation like that arises. I suppose there is Tufton, there is Chang about 101 and not Richie. There is Nigel Clark, I suppose, has been groomed in some ways to probably one day lead the party. As to whether or not he'll lead the country, time will tell. Zane. So I know some people are looking at a young, what's his name again? Floyd Green, as he develops politically and gain experience. So I don't know. So based on, listening to people and reading the streets and looking at the polls, so that is it on the JLP side and the PNP side. As I said, people keep the names that keep on coming up on the PNP. I just two names keep on coming up on the PNP side. And it is Damian Crawford and Lisa Anna. Lisa says she now seek re-election in the next election. So I don't know what the future holds for her, Zane, and thing. But Anna saw we pass on power in the country, bro. So Anna like, because my deputy leader, I'm automatically become prime minister. Neither. I don't think I saw it work. So, yeah, I know say I'm a deputy prime minister, but Chang need to get some time off to sleep at night time. You understand? So, I don't know. Yeah, but as to Juliet being I don't know. I don't see that. So, I don't know why you'd have asked that question, but just, looking at the thing, I suspect that there are people there who are in front of her experientially and also based on what the delegates would probably be interested in. Zane? So, yeah. Well, the agricultural sector is, boy, when Green go do foolishness in a COVID, boy, in Ghana hotel, go do foolishness, and then him lose the portfolio, it thing kind of went back a few years. So right now, you might try move up back to where they did them. Still not even reach back there so yet. Zane, I think he was doing a fair job trying to mobilize the players in the sector before him go up a hotel in a COVID time, go to foolishness. But say, I don't know. Well, no. He would be acting prime minister. Then they would have to be an election or some sort of thing there. So him, I don't know. You see me? All right. You're probably right, Richie. But he would have to go to the people. You understand? So whilst for stability and continuity, he would become acting prime minister. I wouldn't be prime minister because I wouldn't have been duly selected as prime minister by the people. So we'd have to go to the people. And I can't foresee a situation where Horace Chang goes to the people as leader of the Jamaica Labour Party seeking to be prime minister based on his performance as security minister and his age. People look at them things and them things will then work against him totally. You understand? So, yeah. So that. So next thing now, I have, again, me look on some things and I say, you see, we love excitement in this country now. Excitement is our thing. And we look nice we gone. Excitement. See? And we love two elections. I don't know why. Why the election then can't keep one day? You vote for your MP and you vote for your I'm the fire from the mic. I want to hear me, you know. You go in the electoral place there. You go in a cubicle, you get the ballots, you vote for your MP, you vote for your councillor, and you go your yard. One vote and you're done. What the issue with that? Why we can't have one election? Why we need two elections? Is there a rule that say we can only have election on 2 different days? Because I suppose that, yes, it's still our cost to bundle them together, but I suppose it is probably cheaper to keep one. One election. I guess the experts will probably say, brother, yeah, just big for nothing. So, it got cheap. Then me not sure. That's why me just say. Two separate processes is two elected representatives you select, bro. In some country, one election keep. You vote for your local representative and your government representative, as in central government. You understand me? I say. So, me no know. Cause watch him at say now. EOJ gets its $1.7 billion for local government polls. A one poll, $1.7 billion just for local government election, you know. Hold on. You and me and your pitney and your granny and your mother and your uncle and your auntie are provide $1.7 billion for local government election. Think on that. So if local government election are $1.7 billion, how much money them say them spending last time for general election? I never see that now, you know. That me should then go check that, you know, because I know these things when me talk, you know. See? $1.7 billion. That is not chicken feed, you know. That is not chicken feed. With local government elections due by the end of February next year, the Andrew Holness-led administration has allocated $1.7 billion to the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, to conduct the polls when called. This represents a sum requested by the EOJ as reported by the Gleaner earlier this month. And again, if somebody can tell me the rationale and logics to keep the election separate and why it is not good or a good idea to join the elections, I am all ears, you know. I am willing to learn and to acquire different perspectives and the facts as they can be qualified and quantified by data and research, you know. It's not a problem. But from when me sit down with my layman's view of things, I think that we can have one election and just circle again 5 years' time. I don't see why we need to separate. Jamaica, give or take 3 million people. Zin, the last election about 40 people go vote. So I like say we have 40 million people in our country where it will take 40 years and 40 days and 40 nights for declare the election results. So of course it's going to be more expensive if you're going to add local government elections to general elections. But in the grand scheme of things, why is it that these two processes cannot be combined? Why must they be kept separate? To test the waters. Yeah, I get that. But then say, every time you test the water, it costs me, brother. See, it a cost we are now $1.7 billion. You know how much school now have good whiteboard, bro? You know how much school don't have, after September, don't have whiteboard markers and erasers for the rest of the school year on a consistent flow? You know how much bathrooms in schools are in a state of disrepair? You know how much hospital beds are lacking in this country? You know how much police, well, they have been doing some work with police stations. I have to give them credit for that. A lot of police stations have been upgraded or rebuilt or built in recent years, in fairness. But the police force still want resources. You know how much body-worn police camera and investigative capacity and technological-driven investigations that can go to work. I'm just saying. So yes, it will cost more on the election budget, the general election budget, to combine them. But I suspect somehow that it would be cheaper to do one election than split them. Again, for anybody out there who has intimate knowledge of how these things work, as I don't, and is willing to explain why is it having separate elections make more sense economically, not politically, you know, economically, and logistics-wise, I am willing to listen. You link me And if you want to talk about it off here, fine. And if you want to call in, whether a phone call or you want video up on screen, like, yeah, see me now, I make it happen. It's not a problem. I am willing. Because I learn. And I am all about learning. I like to learn things. You understand? I live to learn as I learn to live. I learn to live as I live to learn. That's when I fix it. That way there. And Jerome said more exciting. Why? Then if you have everybody in a pot one time, it's more exciting. If you have everybody in a dance than two dance. A big dance are go nicer. You have more girls for wine pan. You understand? In a big dance. And more girls there. Then two different dance and the girl then split. Then, we don't know. But as I say, I'm willing to learn. So I know somebody may be watching and I say, you know, that boy ain't no sense, you know. But then, me probably not sense because me not understand why. So if you can make me understand why, then me acquire a sense. You see me? So, me don't know. But say, right, so why need to be every 3 years, Charlie? Why can't be 5 years like that? Then you get a chance. And, hey, Ariel, how are you? It's good to see you. Zane? Why it can't be that? You understand? So I understand that part like that, you know, but that can't be the only reason, bro. You see me? $1.7 billion just for local government election is a lot of money. I know so the Electoral Commission don't need the money, you know, because they have to pay election worker, they have to get this, they have to get that. The logistics are a lot, and fine. They have to do them training and these things. But say, so I would appreciate, so if anybody from the Electoral Office of Jamaica is watching and is willing to shed some light as to why. And I suppose the EOJ is probably just there for when the election, then call it and do them thing in the background and something. So it's probably somebody in the political directorate who need to talk about that to the policy makers. Because I don't know that it would be a EOJ decision. It would probably be a political, not probably, it's a political decision because EOJ don't call elections. You understand what I mean? I say elections are declared by the ruling party. So it has to be a political thing. So, you know, we're not to talk to politicians like that, but I learn. So if is there somebody who is willing to shed some light on this, I'm sure people watching and listening would also acquire some good information and knowledge from same, and I would appreciate that. I forgot probably seek out somebody because I don't know if them are watch tonight. Yeah, so let me finish read this. So the local governmental, I said that already. The figure represents a 70% increase in the budget submitted for approval in December. Remember, you know, election, local government election, if you keep already, you know, but then put it off and say they don't have no money. And then now, this figure that was requested by the EOJ is 70% greater, higher than the budget where them did submit in a 2021. You see how that work now? T checks and balance. But as it relates to why them can't do together, Ali, because if the MP can serve for 5 years, why council can't serve for that time then either? We just love excitement around here. You understand? And too money. That we love. Too money. Zine? So this $1.7 billion is 70% higher than the budget or the requisition that was made by the EOJ in 2021 for the same local government election. And why? Inflation. It's the inflationary figures. I guess. Zine? When it was expected that well overdue polls would have been held in February of 2022. So 1 year later, EOJ requested 70% more money than what they did request in 2021. 1.7 billion. Our increase. Paper. I don't know. So at the same time, $420 million have been allocated to the Ministry of Local Government and Community Development to carry out several projects. I wonder like what? The government has pumped in $100 million for the cleanup of town centers and another $120 million for indigent housing. So in the third supplementary estimates, $200 million is set aside for rehabilitation of community roads and $120 million, why this ASSA? And $120 million for indigent housing, while $60 million goes to the trucking of water. Okay, I know we were in the middle of a drought until some rain started fall recently. And speaking about rain started fall, a few people have been have been badly affected by the effects of the rains in Portland. Landslides, I've seen clips and pictures where at least 2 houses have been destroyed by land slippages, and flooding has affected Port Antonio and other communities. And the roads have become more deplorable than they were before the rains came. So there is that. And now, yeah, we shall there. So the needy are expected to receive additional support with $200 million allocated to the Ministry of Labor and Social Security for the provision of compassionate grants. Another $260 million has gone to the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries for farm roads and trucking of water. And these things. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So, I just left it on peeps. I've been here from 6:30 or 6:45. Zane, as I said, today was just to discuss some of the happenings in the news for the day. Zane, a lot of things. Well, I don't know. But this is Jamaica. Land of food and water. Nothing with no charter. Except love and compassion. Humility. And good governance. It's crazy. Yeah. So peace, big up on yourself as I say, I'm not too tired too long tonight. You know. Big up to the ones that were in the building. I don't have work a morning too. So I need to keep, you know. Yeah, me I look excuse myself. But we appreciate the support. You understand? If you're there for the first time, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the community, as I like to call it, the family. You understand? This is what we do over here. You know, we put up some interviews with some people that have contributed meaningfully to the music. You understand? We do some newscasts, and every now and then, I stream and talk off my face. And sometimes I open the phone line, talk off phone face. You understand? Hopefully, if you're new here, you like what you see and you hit the subscribe button and you forward back. You understand? So big up to the people that we're checking. You know, I appreciate the continued support. I want to make that something at work. You understand what I say? You guys, some of you have been here from 2016, some 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Tonight, since the big up on yourself, I appreciate everyone. For the people that come here and leave already, big up on yourself, said you guys were important whilst you were here. You helped make the thing happen. You understand what I say? For the people that will continue to watch the videos, all if the topic and something you're interested in, because I can't deal with no more murder story, but because I teach, you know, I watch it. I give thanks. For the people that will continue to share the videos, I appreciate it. For the people that will continue to recommend the channel to their friends, families, colleagues and such, we appreciate it. For the people them who continue to support the channel by going to the merch store to buy things via Super Chat, via PayPal, via Cash App, via Patreon, big up on yourself. We appreciate the ones them. For the ones them who keep the comment section them going and keep the engagement up on the videos, we appreciate it. For the ones them who continue to link them favorite artists to say, brother or sister, how long may I wait for to teach them interview, you walk go on and then them link teach them, big up on yourself. We appreciate that same way. You see me I say? For the people them who criticize us for whatever reason, these things help us to grow. When I'm telling so when I just started the channel, people say, then it's a big head boy I come from about him a teacher and he can't read. Because I remember some did I looking at a phone light. I have to use the phone light to light my face with the camera and I look down on the tablet. When I'm looking at a phone light and I look down, I'm blind for about 30 seconds. So you know when I come up back reading kind of slow, then I say I go sell back juice and farm. But probably if I go on there farming, I then rich. That I should then do. You understand? But we there, we stick to it and, you know what I mean, we take our beatings and we learn from it. You understand what I mean? I say, sometimes me run with a few people still, because sometimes some people kind of take it too far and feel like, say, they can't tell you anything. We don't work that way there. But in general, see, we look at these things. And we know our weaknesses, as I tell you before. I have worked on some of them. Some of them are still there and need refinement and needs improvement. But, you know, we give thanks, we work and give thanks to the people who continue to support the movement. That's why when I there road and I'm on to teach them, no matter what I must drive, I drive past them and I can't stop. We normally stop and go across to show your appreciation in a meaningful, real way. You understand? Because as I say, I want to make the thing work. You see me? Give thanks. Peeps, big up on yourself, you know. You know what I mean? I mean, I say, Mr. G, big up yourself, you know. That G, my brother, give thanks, you know, bro. It's always good to see, you know. Teach them, take a look at Jamaica, table of precedents. Not sure if that provides the answer to the line of succession. But it's all right, bro. Now say a word. I will definitely do that. Zane, Chef Flashy, you know, flavor. You know what I think, give thanks. Be impressive. Zane, Lady Faye, Tennille, good night. Level 100 TV, big up yourself and a family. Orion Townsend. I wonder if Orion or Christopher's son. I joke me I make. Caribbean expat, big up yourself and a bro. Empress Sashana Young, good night. Leighton Stewart. Finar, the man of the girls, them say a star. Miss Marcia Webb. Jamaica Porn Service, peeps. Jamaica Porn Service is as the name say. It's Jamaica Porn Service is a business. So if you are into adult entertainment and you are in search of that type of entertainment, you can go and search out Jamaica Porn Service. He's a very, very ardent supporter of the channel. I don't necessarily patronize his business, but is me very loyal supporter. So if you look for some adult fun, you can go over Jamaica Porn Service, go see what go on over there. Ali Cat Eyes. Ariel, it's good to see you, my dear. My bride friend from high school. Big up yourself. Ricardo Williams. All of the people in the business. Richie, when I step with that thing there, brother. Not me step with that. Me remember, but me ask about it. You remember. Zane, Charlie, big up yourself, you know. Manners and respect, you know. Rosie, big up yourself, you know, sis. Peeps, big up on yourself, you know. Enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good day at work tomorrow or school. Be safe. Make some money. Me soon. Supposed to be Sunday night again, but we soon go on. You know what I mean? And think, big up on yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Nature Ellis representing for extra class scene. We teach them. Little piece.
Good night, peeps.
Story. Piece of extra class story. Yeah. A piece of my life. Piece of my life. Hey, teach them, I give them the story. Hey, watch you now. Extra class control country. Lock the place in the city. To deal with your music, I say.
Reason we call election when it is in our favor, need to fix. Yes, I am in agreement with a fixed election date as well. And I'm also in agreement with term limits, but we'll talk about that another time.
And trying, man, working for a better situation. Extra classes for the trying man. And trying, man, working hard for a solution. Yeah. Yes,
Peeps, good night. What good? Step with ya. I'm out.